My narrativizing mind is very active.
It's this invisible frame of reference that you carry in your head.
Life presents all sorts of adversity, and some adversity doesn't feel like adversity. It's sneaky.
Could I interview you for my space gas?
What the hell is going on here?
This is like a sauna.
It is. Do you think so? I think this is the coldest and nicest weather we're gonna see here in Sayulita before it gets fucking crazy, fucking hot. And they say that I'm gonna scream for my life when this shit gets really hot.
I can't even deal with it. Oh my god. I can't even deal with how cool this episode is already.
This is cool. I like doing this. I also have a thing like this at my house. So
I'm just gonna...
So it feels like home too. I do the same thing. Bring the lights and set up there and set up shop. And
If you don't have a freaking guard in front of your microphone, you're gonna just hear wind noises every time I laugh.
you see,
Excuse me, everybody. But I do. I'm really glad you're wanting to. You made it in here. I can see you're maybe a little nervous.
Slightly. It's all good.
Is it more nervous than jumping off the cliff or the hill?
No, actually, it's been pretty chill. We've been hanging out all day. We've been talking all day. So it just comes natural.
Dude, this is so hilarious.
It's
cute.
It's just all happening. We're just having our talks that we have.
Okay, what's up, everybody? So I think this is going to be Briight Talks number 2. And today on the show, I have a really special friend, DJ Symmetry, Jorge.
Hey.
From new friend. We got a strong connection, but it's pretty quick. Or like, are we rushing things?
No, none at all. It's a good intro.
We're not going to rush anything.
No.
I met Jorge on the beach in Sayulita. When I first got here, he was playing King of the Disco by Levels, which is an amazing track. And I didn't know you could get away with that at the beach here. And so I cruised up and I watched and I'm like, holy shit, this guy knows how to mix too. Not really many people there. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, some sort of private party or something. But cruise up, definitely see that he's mixing some sort of Gucci mama, or he's got the skills. And then later when we ended up talking, it's like, you've been mixing for... Actually, I think I asked your mom.
Yeah. I remember that stuff. We were at Pineapple. Yeah, he's like, how old is he and how long has he been mixing?
When did he start mixing? Or like, when did you see your boy start mixing?
Right? She's like, and it's kind of bogus still for her because she knows kind of a bit of the story. And it's been like 20 some years.
See if I can get you into the camera here. What's in the way? Anything here? No.
Started around, what is it that I moved to Boulder, Colorado, I think. It was 2000, yeah, the 2000s actually.
Weren't you born in the States?
No, I was born in Mexico City. Then I moved to the States farther later in my life.
On your own?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a crazy story, man.
Didn't you tell me that you... Cheers, everybody.
There.
We're having tequila. It's late night. Me and Jorge both like alcohol.
Yes. We definitely have the booze.
Potentially going through, personally, my own slight depression with too many depressants. But, I will stop tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, man. Like across the border when I was younger. Didn't have to really, but it was just my sister's wedding. So I was like, I'm not missing my sister's wedding.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I was trying to do everything the right way, and they fucked with my passport. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to cross the border. And that's exactly what I did. Little, bad choices, of course. Or who knows?
I don't know. It sounds like a pretty good choice.
It was, a lot. Yeah, it is. It was a pretty crazy.
The phenomenon that you're from another place. Dang, this.
And just doing that in itself was like pretty. It changed my life as well too. Just different perspective, and there's no turning back once you do that. So yeah, I started living in Galveston for a couple of years, and then things happened. Obviously, I didn't like Texas that much. I was not gonna move again to find another place within Texas, so I just went across the states, and we went to Colorado, and that's where I found that's where really I started living, I think, and really enjoyed.
How old were you when you went across the border?
When I went border, I was like around, what is it?
For your sister's
17,
sister's
18,
wedding?
18, I think it was when that happened.
Was it scary? Did you see anybody?
Oh yeah, it was super scary, man. When it came down to physical condition, I was doing pretty good because I played hockey for a long time. So I was in really good shape, but not mentally in shape to witness all the stuff that I was going to, be witnessing.
Can you,
The stuff
over
that I
the
see.
course of the years, or when you were actually taking action going over the border?
No, the going under the border thing was just something, like, I thought I knew what I was getting into. I mean, I try to go back in time, and I'm like, what the fuck I was thinking, I didn't know what I was in for.
Okay, so you were 17 and wanted to go to your sister's wedding, and you went to the border where? Like, not when you, I'm assuming you snuck over the border?
Yeah, I was snuck over the border.
But how did they fuck with you so you couldn't go?
It's a super silly story, too. I was going to be on my way back again, and we were traveling back and forth. And, I was heading back normally with my sister. I was like, hey, let's go have fun. You need to come check out the stuff I'm doing over there. You're going to like it.
In America?
And we're on our way into the States. And, they have to check your stuff and all, like how long you're staying for, blah, blah. And apparently my passport was going to expire, or the visa, I can't remember even anymore. It was about to expire, and it's like, well, shit, I said, well, your passport's going to expire pretty soon, so how come you're staying this long, or visa or whatever? It's like, oh, well, I guess I can just come back earlier, and that's just like, no, you can't. So he just went to town on my passport and just clop, and just start putting all these seals.
Saying, like, you don't let this guy
Yeah, but
in.
he should have just really fucked with his, the visa page for the U.S., not ruining my passport the way he did, He just really...
Shit.
That's what really fucked everything up, too.
Yeah.
And then... they're like checking, like, if I have some sort of ID, and my ID from the school pops up. So if you're not resident, what the fuck you're doing here?
The recording makes these noises, and we gotta fucking deal with them once in a while.
They ask
Sorry.
them about this, what the fuck I'm doing, like, But I mean, in all seriousness, like, if at that time, as far as I remember, if you joined this, any kind of school, there shouldn't be no problem like that.
Don't mess with that stuff too much. It'll make a bunch of clicking noises.
All this stuff.
Whenever you mess with something, here's the tape.
So that's the weird thing that happened. I'm just
sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry.
That's when we that's when I wasn't able to enter anymore, and I was like, oh, all right, well. We're gonna do it this way, which I don't even know how my parents supported the idea. It's like I'm pretty young, and I'm like I really want to go back because I got my shit going on, So my sister gets through, and my sister's like, "Oh,
without you'd probably go up together."
Yeah, my sister's like, "Dude, how come we're gonna get split? No, I gotta go back with you. My mom's gonna kill." I'm like, "Dude, fuck no. They're sending me back. You're already halfway." You go do your thing. When we're traveling together, right? So she heads back, and I didn't know that moment when we said goodbye to each other, our lives were going to change forever. If I told her, I'm scared, let's go back together, it would have been a different story completely for the rest of our lives. When I when I tell goodbye to my sister and I head back to Mexico, in that time, which is like, spent of a little bit of 2 years for me to almost be able to make it back. My sister it's about to get married, you know, she has her life over there, you know, it's like super crazy. I was like, there's no way I'm missing this thing, so just did the border crossing.
Who'd you go with?
Was that to do the border crossing shit?
Sure, yeah.
I can't remember. It was like
doing
some
that?
friends of friends, because you know, like, and that knew somebody who knows friend, and blah blah. And I just went like a recommended, you know, person, so I didn't have to be like with the group, and actually was, you know, I was like with the actual main dudes. So it was a different experience, but still it was pretty rough to see how these things work, you know. People that have been traveling from Central America, you know, from all the way from South.
Mm-hmm.
When your trip is like, to me, it's like, was somewhat of a walk in the park, really. Like I wasn't not tired at all.
Yeah.
Because I was in really great condition, but mentally though, I broke a little bit just seeing how things work, you know. Also helped with you know, like they didn't know English and stuff. Some of them didn't know how to, you know, like on the radio know what was going on. So it's like, oh, they're saying this. Like, dude, he knows. It's like he said this and this. Like, so apparently I saved a bunch of people by knowing English, which I didn't, you know what I was in for at all. It was a humbling experience. Finally, when it was all done, it was just kind of like, wow, did that just happen? To me, easy, but you know, but in general, for other people that crossed like from way far, it's like, wow, what a trip.
Is it genuinely easy to? Is it just roads, and you drive the road when it's safe?
Seems like they have this route that's been made for, but it's all you know, they have a deal. Bottom line, they have a deal with people, so people can cross. It's just so obvious. I mean, they know how many people, because they're moving stratospheric amounts of money, you know, with the people that are crossing. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's been going, obviously, for so long.
That's the first time I've ever heard that, actually. Yeah. I've never really.
And there's just one story out of trillions of stories that exist, and how it has changed, and
how many millions,
and the politics behind it, you know, like to release the family member once it crosses the border. They would let you, first you get the money, first, you know, half now, half later. You know, he's here, he made it to the States, now we need the money, and then they release you. Otherwise, they'll keep you and you ransom. It's kind of like that, too.
What?
Yeah. At least around that time, that's the way things worked. Like, it was like, you know, like it was like people.
Okay, so when you went across, then there's kind of there's a way to make yourself a citizen for your other family members that are over there?
It's super complicated, especially because it's all politics. I think it's changing.
And this is 24 years ago. This is 24 years ago. This is
wow, it's been some time.
This is 1999.
It's like, yeah, around 1999, 2000. It's wild, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For everyone who's wondering, Jorge is just turned 41. We celebrated his birthday.
Yeah. Cheers, motherfuckers.
That's
a crazy intro for like things that happen. But hey, that happened.
I'm glad you shared. What can we learn?
Don't let your kids cross the border. Keep them home. Stay in school. Oh. I don't know, dude. Like, that was just decisions we made at the time.
Okay. Family
stuff was kind of flimsy, so it just, like I said, I don't know how I got support from my parents to do something like that.
Did you make it to the wedding?
I did it. Awesome.
Yeah, and then I feel like you stayed in America for a while.
I stayed in America for quite a while, and I did really good, and a lot of music.
How long?
A lot of, it was about 15 years solid. Like 2 at least in Texas, and the 13 in Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah.
And that's where
Holy shit.
And as crazy as it sounds, like it was one silly thing to get like deported, but it was bound to happen any moment, like I was not laying low. I was having my fun. I mean, I just didn't even register anymore if I was citizen or not. I was citizen of the world. I was having fucking fun. I was in my 20s and like making $1,300 a week. You know, like I was having so much fun. You know, I can't complain about any of that. It was such a good time.
How'd you make the money?
DJing my ass off.
Whoa.
Only DJing. And that's the thing. That I never had to clean a table or do any of that. Like I really set on my idea. There was a DJ and just stuff started like really going, you know.
What kind of DJing
around.
were you doing? How did you find gigs?
And
you could
it was
speak
kind of
English
funny.
already because you were in America since what age?
Well, that and my school was trilingual. My school was pretty hardcore. It was like from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Who got you in that school?
know.
In Mexico or in...
In Mexico. Yeah, it was a pretty fucking awesome school. I didn't get as good on French. Fucking pasé como se dice. But, yeah, English was like, you know, music, the video games. You know, just easier.
Yeah, apparently it's pretty
Came
popular.
a lot more easier to pick up than how often I go to France, right? So, yeah. What else were we talking about? I'm still...
Man,
yeah.
thanks for sharing. We were talking about how old you were when you first got to
Oh, yeah, about
America, learning Spanish and English, and then leading up to being 17, 17 to crossing the border to go to your sister's wedding, and then staying
Kind of coming back to my life as
in
well,
America
too.
for 15 years and making some sweet money each week DJing. And then as a DJ, I'm like, how
Learning how
did
to
you...
be a DJ,
So you didn't DJ yet?
you know? It's like a whole process of becoming
How did you
in Boulder. Just,
find out about it?
it took a fucking winter to really get, I had no money left. Like, it was like, you know, I'll get money sent from my parents and stuff. I was like, dude, I can't live like this. Like, I have the decks, though. You know, tons of drum and bass. And that's what we're
Hold
playing.
on. How did you learn how to DJ? When you were 17?
All self-taught. That's the truth of that.
Yeah.
Like watching way too many videos and stuff. Like, you know, like it was Qbert and all that stuff. Like, I remember I used to flip even the TV so I could like.
Hold up, man. When you were learning at like 19, that's I think it's pre.
We were doing CDs before that, but then when it got to the vinyl thing, when it got really real, I was like, shit, what am I gonna do with this? This is not easy. Okay, yeah, I got the record, I got the mixer. It's like the needle, everything's like, oh, this is not what I, you know.
How were you watching
really.
Qbert? Like, was it YouTube?
We're listening. First of all, I was listening to all his shit. First, all the stuff as a listener comes first.
Sure.
Then collecting the VHSs and stuff like that in competitions was a whole different gamut.
For motherfuckers who don't know what a VHS is, that's it's a tape. It's a big tape you'd put into a TV and you'd watch a movie.
That's right. Beta was first, then VHS came.
Dude, if you were
They're not
born
gonna
in
know what a
1900.
DMC is. DMC is the turntable championships for turntablism. So first it was the scratching and hip hop that got me into the turntables.
How old were you?
Obviously I loved the music, but to kick it off, it was just I wanted to learn how to scratch.
How old were you?
That started around 17, but I mean around 19 is when I finally got the decks and really started working on it and be like, okay, like really like exploring with the entire concept, like what each thing does, and really without no access to like, full on like YouTube or things like that.
Yeah, I learned from YouTube,
So-
and if I didn't learn from YouTube, I don't know how I would have done it.
And to me it was that part first, pretty much manipulating, feeling, just pretty knowing what everything does first, Then
Did
from
you-
there, getting the second deck, and then really trying to make something. And then it's like, oh shit, oh my God, it's beat match. It's like, that first feeling. And then from there you start, okay, I'm gonna go buy another record.
Holy.
Like, I'm not gonna eat. I'm actually gonna buy another record. I'm gonna buy another scratch record. I'm gonna get, another one with beats. And that it just snowballs from there. Just next thing you know, you're all skinny with fucking and breaking your fingers, your carpal tunnel almost. They're doing the shit, and just living in finally a place that I really like Boulder. Boulder was really awesome.
Huh? Sounds like
It's like I haven't experienced snow. I'm living in the snow. I'm going to the record store. Like it's like I was like I really want to live here. So little by little, started making my collection and. This is a funny story. I had to work at I ended up working at this smoke shop up in Boulder. I got offered a job there. But before we get to that, I went in there and I just started shooting the shit with the owner and telling him how much I like music and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, damn, you know a bunch of music, even though I'm not a DJ now. And he says to me, would you like to open for Soul Slinger from Brazil?
say that one more time. Open for
Soul Slinger from Brazil. I was like, you fucking.
who's Soul Slinger?
It's this DJ from Brazil. Part of the jungle movement, which is on the Brazil side of the world. And it's kind of crazy, dude. So I was like, okay, hold that thought. So you're asking me to open for Soul Slinger. I gotta call my parents and let them know that this is happening. Because I was only visiting Boulder. I got offered to open for a drum and bass DJ that I like a bunch. That's the interlude. Yeah, I got offered to open for a DJ that I like. The thing that he doesn't know is that I'm not really quite a DJ yet, rather than a collector at that point with decks. Well, he didn't know about it, and I still threw myself out there and fucking did the gig.
Did you mix?
Yeah, oh yeah, I mixed that night. It was Soul
Did you make
Slinger
one mix?
and Zero from Slipknot. Zero from Slipknot, which is funny. That guy, I kid you not, has like this perception thing that is like trippy when you meet him. He's super cool dude, but like he ate I don't know how many hits of acid and some shit got fucked up. Which is super trippy. But he's a fucking awesome dude and he plays jungle awesome. All they do, I don't that was a brand movie. Well, I still threw myself out there and did the thing. I learned a lot in that gig, obviously. But
Dude, where's that only turntables?
Only turntables, only vinyl. I had like $1,000 to buy, to like kind of afford my time and do stuff. Pretty much the $1,000 went to just vinyl that I was gonna play at that night. Almost zero money for food. And I just did it all.
You mean $1,000 for the gig?
For my family to kind of like, and the stuff that I had like saved. Like, I remember I'm still a kid. It's kind of fun. It's like shit. Like that was my food money, and obviously I went for record support.
You'll eat.
It worked out.
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah, there you go. That's one way to put it. But yeah, that is super true. That's how that went down. So I played that party. Then I got known by a bunch of other people. Some people started reaching and be like, "Hey, good stuff. You get in there. You're working." And I'm like, working on it. It's like my first gig ever.
Buddy, that sounds like it's an epic gig, though.
Yeah.
But it's just because you're showing up to that record shop and being a goddamn legend, being so keen about it, I think, and just really...
That's pretty much how it happens. It's like I know about music, but I just didn't know how to mix. Like the whole mixing and becoming DJ, that was like, just like Harold Heath says in his book, it's like how did I go from small time DJ to to even smaller. Like you're not really trying to look for stardom, but you're just trying to. Ideally, I would like to survive as a DJ since then. It's like I don't want to be cleaning tables. To me, it was like ludicrous to really pursue this. Even family was like, when you're gonna. Like there was a process, then it started getting really good. Look at that, and it's kind of like. Hey, at some point you guys doubted me. This little much, but it was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was not scared, but I trusted that I could get really good at it. At least play from the heart and be listened to in an average way that I can make a living, and you know, everything is earnest in that matter, I guess.
How is it? It seemed like upon meeting you and upon the busy season, we're able to make enough gigs, and because we have experience, we have confidence, we are good with putting ourselves out there and being like, we can make an event here. I've made something like this, or I know how I can make this a good event, or I know how to rock this place even for how small it is and for what age this is. I've just done this before, so that experience really pays off to create opportunities.
And it comes from so much failure,
It's-
you know? Really,
it's
from
still
so much failure and from so many fears. And you know, it's like you develop, nobody talks about this shit, right? It's like you develop sometimes drinking habits that DJ shit, man. And it comes from some nobody ever talks about. Like if it's stage fright, you know, it all started like that. Just stage fright. I'm gonna have some drinks to fucking come DJ, and then you become a real good DJ with a fucking drinking problem like Jorge does. I'm not kidding. I'm not that terrible. But it's seriously, you carry some shit with you to get, you know, to get a
Dude,
little bit on. Nobody talks
It
about
is
that.
so
that
dangerously
hardcore,
close to drinking problems.
you know, or anybody. And I mean, you've seen people go.
Is
I mean,
it-
There's just, it's part, I don't want to say it's the etiquette that I want to
Dude, the last
go
time
for,
I
but
didn't
it's tough.
drink beer, I sometimes, like, I don't really want to go out. Because if I'm not drinking beer out, I don't really see the point in being out with everybody drinking.
This math about, okay, I'm going to go play at a club for drunk people and I'm going to go sober and how I'm going to get them on. That's one. The other one is like, okay, maybe I'm nervous. It's a really good club. There's going to be popping. And people don't know that I don't have anything ready in my freestyle things as I go. If you have anything prepared when you show up at the gig, everything changes in front of you. It's like, oh, I had this set ready. I guess not. You know, that only happens once to me, and I was like, I'm never preparing anything. When I get there, from the first song is where I go. I can stick to one song I want to open with, just to remind myself where I want to go. Or hopefully with that song start with the right foot, but I can never really prepare for what's in front of me until I get there, or how I'm going to feel, you know? So it's just all of this improv.
I have ideas of where I'm going to start, but then sometimes, even lately, as soon as I get there, I'm like,
The
I
crowd
can't.
changes on you. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
The crowd changes in front of you, and that's the stuff you learn with experience. That people is like, oh, you're good,
Buddy.
Yes, like I don't crumble when shit changes. I'm just gonna change dynamic because I have tons of dynamics that I've done.
I don't think a lot of people do it. I don't think a lot of people freestyle DJ until they're resident DJs of a place for 4 hours straight every week for.
But I still get nervous.
For
That's
weeks.
for sure. Like if I'm gonna DJ, if I mean,
You were probably
I go bleh.
nervous
I
at
go, bleh.
Lamback the other day.
It's like bleh. It's
You
like,
gotta-
what's
I always-
wrong with me? I'm nervous because I actually
Did
give a
you
fuck. It's still just as
Not
fun as-
learn yet that alcohol makes your motor skills worse. And then when my motor skills are worse, like when I go to want to use myself, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm fucking drunk. Like I'm out of it. I
Well,
can't
this
get
is
in
the
it.
thing. There's a fine line between I'm drunk and the other one I get super sharp and really in it. There's a fine line between that, and I think in like obviously I'm not known for like, oh, these fucking motherfuckers drunk. No, it wouldn't work like that. It just I like when I get like focused or just more like bugged out.
Are you saying
You
with
know?
the
I mean, it's an
nervousness
inhibitor, right?
or with the few drinks?
Oh, right, a few drinks is kind of like it is to it's an inhibitor, of how would it
So
work,
I just love a beer or three. 3 beers before starting DJing is that's getting too much. Like depending on the importance of the gig.
I don't have
Unless I'm out dancing
I don't
with
have a
people
recipe
beforehand.
quite though, but definitely it's better for me to just be already like a little flamed to do my thing and not having to drink as I'm drinking.
Do you feel like-
because if I'm gonna be DJing though, and I'm gonna be drinking, that means I'm gonna have to be going to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make any sense? So by the time I'm DJing, then I'm already a little flamed, so I'm drinking slower, but I'm probably just drinking my mezcal or something, and just not pounding beer or whatever. Because I try to avoid.
In Boulder, would you?
Stuff, you know?
You wouldn't drink
Fuck,
mezcal.
DJ shit. No, there was no mezcal. It was terrible. I was terrible, man. It was Jagger bombs. I remember I used to get this. I will always get like the place will always give me a bottle of champagne, always.
Jesus.
So I have the
Is
stuff.
that-
Drink an IPA,
Is that smart
and then
to give the DJ that? Or is that
well, it
just
was
a
for me to like
ball
kind
out?
of could do whatever, fucking share it.
Sure.
Stuff, club stuff, DJ shit,
Sure.
all that stuff that we had. Remember, it was a different time, different year.
No, go on.
But yeah,
I want to know
So
about
it's like,
what
so
place
that was
that?
the intake at the
What
time.
the fuck
This
was
is
that?
my 20 songs, you know, it's like Jagger bombs, drinking drinking 6-7 beer, 6.7 beer, drink a bunch of IPA, doing car bombs. I loved car bombs at the time.
What's a
too.
car bomb?
Car bombs is Bailey's,
Irish car bomb.
Irish car bomb.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
I don't actually. I've never had one, but I've heard of it. Irish car bomb.
We need to fix that shit, brother. Here's the brown boy showing you the car bombs.
I don't know, like the older
We'll pretend
DJ
it's
man.
Patty's Day again. It just
that-
happened. So.
So did you think it's been? I've been hand in hand with beer drinking since 14, but that's when I started mixing. But it's not to do
I
with
love
that.
my relationship with
But
my beer.
there's- but-
I'm not gonna lie.
The
I don't have
two-
other hobbies. It's like they're too crazy. So it's
The two things intermeld like crazy. The amount of people who are drinking when I'm DJing. And some of my friends, they advise, they're like, you can do higher conscious parties, like cacao ceremonies.
I have DJ without drinking, and I love it. And I do it still now. It's not necessary. I'm just talking about when it's like big responsibility. Sometimes.
We're
A dance
talking
where
about
you try to
yeah,
perform and really stand in front of some people.
hell are we talking about?
It's when you really feel like, okay, I'm. It's just stage fright. It's really all it is. All the other stuff is like it's just. Then I'm drinking just because I want to drink and having fun. So I'm chill. I'm relaxed. There's another drink which is like, fuck, I'm nervous. It's like that day I jam back.
Buddy,
it's so
you
insignificant.
can't.
It was like.
Oh, no, but it's significant.
It was to me. It was like,
You wanted it.
it's like
I wanted it.
that.
It was your
so-
birthday.
It was my birthday too. I'm in the shower, bleh. It's like, what's wrong with me? It's like, because I gave a fuck. I really want. So what are you
When
gonna
you
play?
go
What are you gonna
back-
play? I'm like, I don't know.
Did you throw up?
No, I just get like that.
Like a heave?
Yeah,
Really?
it's just like. Bloop.
I thought you
It's
were
like
making a
nothing's-
joke.
But it's like nothing's gonna happen. Yeah, so I'm like
Dude,
fucking.
Jorge.
Yeah.
Nervous, my friend.
Yeah, well,
That-
it's because it's something I really want and expectations, anything.
This is something, though, that is so real because I forgot that I went over a stage of when I started to DJ, it was for these private parties, which were really, really cool. At 15 years old, making parties in the bush better than some of the parties that people are doing, like
See,
more
I didn't have to
speakers
drink
than
back then like that.
more speakers than
It
you
was gonna
have.
get real, and there
we
was
have
money
now.
involved, and it was a job, and it was things change a bit. When we're just playing for for the fuck of it, and just with no money involved, and we just partying. That was the heyday, so I loved it.
I wasn't-
I was not. It's not
I
stressed.
think I was still nervous. But the most nervous I've ever been, and I had to get over, is school dances. I would want to be sober because, well, I barely drank, and I wouldn't want to fuck with the authority figures of, I got a gig at the school dance.
Yes,
I want
the little
that.
colored-
Dude, but everybody who's important in the entire world is there. The high school. Every one of my friends. I'm 16.
Hey, you feel the heat,
Dude, I was
Come on.
shaking before.
That heat,
I'm at my
man.
house. My dad's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm just so nervous." He's like, "Buddy, I don't think it's good to be that nervous." Like, I'm shaking, and then after, still shaking for like an hour. That is that's the craziest nervousness I've
It's a
ever felt.
rush, and that's why we like also DJing. I mean, it's. I don't want to put the things in different contexts. It's like, yes, being being a DJ is hard. It's also fun. You know, it has its perils too. There's stuff. So you know, there's stuff you're gonna have to go through,
It
and it's
what? It seems like.
what it's gonna know.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's got its perks.
It has its perks and it has its perils. I mean, definitely.
So that's the
But
shit
it-
we were talking about that people missed or people don't appreciate, or we talked about your first gig and how you got it with these amazing people and you bought all these records and you were learning how to DJ and then
I couldn't even tell him I was really not a full-on DJ. And I was, you know, that was kind of a thick move.
no,
Hey,
you can't. You have to.
Do you throw yourself in the rodeo sometimes? You're like, oh my god, you know, look at movies about rapes and shit. Look at all these movies. You ever watched what's it called, Groove? Groove's an old school one.
No.
Did you ever collect movies that are about raves? I collect them all, just like hockey movies. Anything that is hockey, I had all those.
Did you ever see the one about the island party that never happened? On
Oh yeah,
Netflix?
the fire one.
Fire
Fucking terrible
Festival. Yeah.
shit. You know, shit
That was
like that.
crazy.
It's just a bunch of rave movies. But Groove was a really cool one. You know, it's like the guy getting kind of his own gig and, you know, being all nervous about the crossover. He's pretty much doing the crossover like eyes closed, like. And,
What?
oh shit! I fucking and you know those movies. They're like those things turn me into DJing. First movies, I started collecting movies all about anything where you could see a fucking DJ. You know, just like it's just like thinking about Herbie Hancock. You know, dun, dun,
Wicca, wicca.
dun, 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 dun. Everything started with that shit. At least for a bunch of people that I know. It was Herbie Hancock's, man. It was the OST. The OST, right?
That was before you DJed?
It was like, what the
or
fuck
that
is
was
that?
when you were getting into
when,
it?
No, that was when it started. It's like, what the fuck is that wiki shit? And what's happening? Why does he have a glove? And it was just...
So that's what I wondered. Like, so other people see that and then they're like, they don't find it that cool? Because, or is it genuinely cool and it takes a certain kind of person to commit to doing it? Like, everyone else saw it. Why the fuck didn't they do
No,
it?
they just started marketing it. You
But-
know, at some point... but I mean, the DJ wasn't cool, if anything. You know, it's like you
But
play
he
with
was
bands,
for us.
You play music.
He was so cool.
But he was-
He's been the coolest thing forever. For me, I'm like, that's the fucking cool. And when I see that, I'm like, that's so fucking cool. And I feel cool.
It's been around.
And I have an
How
ego
old-
thinking
how
I'm
old the
cool.
artist it's been around for? How old the artist been around for? And how much he has shaped from, you know, from
It's not long.
not only the gear, but the technique, you know, from the genres, from turntablism to playing house music, to playing drum and bass like an animal on 4 turntables, playing techno on 3 turntables.
Are you talking about you?
wild. No, I said as well, like the art form, how much it has changed from the gear to you know,
In a small amount of time, too.
in a small amount
From
of
what
time.
I've heard, it's from
you
the
know,
Jamaicans.
From like really, from the whole shebang. It's just it's lovely, dude. Come on. Hip hop culture, it goes hand in hand with this whole, you know.
What do you know
breakdown.
about the starting of mixing?
Um,
I'll tell you what I know. I heard that it's the dub guys mixing records, and then they just really liked playing one right at the end of the other one, and then some guys would even intermix them before they ended these dub tunes with 2 record players. He brought another record player, and then instead of just one right at the end of the other one as the trail of the echo or the trail of the horn was going, he would mix some of the bars at the end, and that was just what I heard was the first takes
It's
of
also
someone mixing.
a super important piece of history there. It's I would say wild style. I think wild style is just you know, testimony of how things happen in an actual, you know, kind of a funky movie, but it really captures what happened with, you know, with DJing at the time and how important it was to, you know, like the break. It was all about the break, you know, and making it longer.
What's
and-
Wild Style?
And Wild Style is a movie about breakdancers and graffiti artists and kind of like how it was exploring at the time. And really,
VHS? What year? Like, when did you see it?
that has to be like 80 sums, like around, yeah, like 80 sums. I'll be lying which year was like in the 80s.
Okay.
And it's super wild because it really captures everything at the time that was really going on with it, flipping records, which became super important for hip hop. It's like if you get the break, you're trying to you to the fun part of the record, and that's what you needed 2 records. So you spin that break longer and rewind it on the other one, and then play the break, and then rewind it on the other one, and once the break's done there, so you spin it long and keep it going crazier and crazier and crazier, and breakdancers will break to it, and then then you finally drop it. But you needed 2 records for that.
Oh, bro.
And you needed to really go back and forth. So they capture that in the movie, and you can tell it's not a turntablism thing that happened with the competitions later. It's like, no, that's how hip hop was done. It's like hip hop was a baby, and that's how you played it. That's what Grand Wizard Theodore did, and all the big bad boys, like all the great
Dude, that's
wizards.
really cool. Shout out. I hope Brandon Dahlberg listens to this. And for folks listening, I think we're talking about 2 beats, like at the start of a song, maybe like and that lasts for another double the amount of time I said. But during that time, the guy has the same record over on another turntable, and right at the end of the boom boom cats boom boom right here, that's your one, drops the same record. Boom boom cats boom cats boom boom cats boom cats. And now he's over on the left side. He was on the right side fixing it up. He's on the left side now, trying to find that first beat of that first track, and then he'll do it again, just to keep it going, so it doesn't say
especially
like
the favorite part of the song. You got
something like a friend now. It's not.
Because that part sucks, and the breakdancers hate it. But they
it's
like
kind of like the solo part. It's like when the solo kicks in. It's the good part of the record, and it only lasts for a little bit, and then we're gonna go back to verse and all that shit. So that part where the solo starts, that's what you're gonna almost do, with 2 records, kind of keep it going and going.
So they were doing that because in their area, that's the way to make the break
we
longer.
didn't have loop like we have today. It just takes a few buttons, and you're like, okay,
Do
loop
one
it.
button.
It's crazy. What a time to be alive, man. If you're a coming DJ and you're learning, you don't have to do half this shit I fucking went through to actually become a real DJ. It's easy. I mean, what a great time to be alive, man. It's so easy, and you can be, and it's just the nature of things when it comes to technology. The technology can only, make it's only intended to make a good DJ better. It was never meant to be like, not to make it lazier, really. It was to give us the technology to actually innovate and to really bring up this, a notch of the art form. I think that's, and people are trying to go, different directions. You get the purist. I was a purist myself. It's like, no, fuck that. Fuck Serato. Fuck these programs. Fuck this controller shit. And, it's not that you give in. It's just, you want to rock all the formats. It's your art form. Any software you want to be able to put your hands on it, any type of, turntable, you're like, want to know it, any kind of needle, you want to know how it sounds, and, it's just, it's complexities and stuff. But then again, it's just such a pretty world now for upcoming DJs and kids and stuff, to kind of like shape the world with music. It's crazy, man. You can be an old motherfucker with, all purist ideas, and technology is going to keep rolling, and, you'll stay behind it, keep up with it. Like, there's a kid doing what you do. Back in the day, you had, like I was saying, you have to use 2 records to fucking resample. We didn't got a sampler, we had a loop.
And you gotta be good with it.
And now you just have this
Throwing it
kid
at the
loop, and
right
you don't have to
time.
sweat as much. So, yeah, the music's changing, we all know that, from the production sense, even to the mixing aspect. It's just everybody's either more aggressive, or there's more tricks in everybody's sleeve, because you have all these tools. So now it'd be silly for you not to, use them and really, elevate the art form to make people go, what the fuck, you just use it? This is such a fun ground to like explore and do stuff. And there's so much gear and so much stuff coming out every year. If I could afford all that. There's so much gear. That's so crazy. So much crazy stuff.
Dude, 3 things. One, I think you're one generation like earlier, or I was one generation later, as you were a bit of a turntable closer to that. I came in right at controllers and CDJs in a way, like the fucking first controllers.
But look at you. You came from the batch later. But you came from the producer batch.
And then I went back to the turntables.
I have a DJing thing, but I don't have the producer part. And then kids nowadays, they have that.
Second thing, we were at a restaurant and Spotify's just jamming. And I'm like, this is so cool. They don't need, like, who's selecting these fucking tracks? And I'm like, the AI. And it's doing a great job, actually. These tracks are one after another exactly what I want to hear right now. That's amazing. No one has to do all that playlist work. It used to be people had fucking great playlists because they selected it and made them. And that
it's
doesn't,
pretty,
that
it's
work
pretty
doesn't.
accurate, huh? You can actually surprise us. Like, I love when Spotify does that. And
It's
it
actually
took me a
good.
while to give it into Spotify because you're talking to the guy that went to the record store and I like to find my own shit. And I kept to either collect whatever happened in the record store is what I bought, and I was buying it because I was gonna play it. I bought it to play it, not for home use. Some stuff. And it's like, and you mean to really play that music, you know?
Third thing, you saw my AI video, that little thing I said. What I believe is, I just thought artificial intelligence, even if it started making like competitive electronic music, it will get to a point where it's following a certain technique that it's designing electronic music, that it's like, yeah, people like it when it's
super
loud.
doable. Just give it the motherfucking AI some good tracks. Give it some fucking EDM shit. It's gonna come with some EDM shit. Give it some really, like
no, it's gonna make
good
it,
content.
but
It's like, this is good production.
AI is forced to go one way, I think, because it's gonna go the popular direction, and then we're gonna know the best popular direction is gonna be these AIs.
If you give AI a mission and you say just make a bomb-ass track, AI has just one mission. That's it. It's like.
But I think the more it works,
it's like, I know how the human psyche works. I know, it should cover all that, right? It's like.
Shit, you're kind of right. If they design it right,
that's what
works on its own time.
That's what they're trying to sell us. That's what they're trying to sell us, right?
If it works on its own time, it's gonna isolate itself. It would design a track that's bomb, and it's like, yeah, this clear, this loud, this snappy of a snare, this fucking great bass line, these great rhythms, but then it would.
And then a twist. Like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, if it's actually a fucking, you're probably right. It's probably gonna do that. I think that it's going to isolate itself, and you'll be like, dude, that's a fucking AI track.
Just look
it's
what
obvious.
it's doing to visual art.
Listen to me. Hold on. The end of this point. The end of this point was like the.
I love you, brother.
The end of this point is like, you would know that it's the track, and then once you see what AI does and what tracks are, you make your stuff different from it. And what's beautiful about that music that's different is it's so fucking different.
I see what you're saying.
Because bangers are bangers, and it's gonna go that way. But you then see what a banger is, and it would never think to do something opposite and fucking different that a human would do
when
opposite.
We're talking about an AI doing these things. We're talking about methodical.
Talking to that vibe.
It's talking about methodical kind of like music making, and there's so many bars, and here's the break, and drum and bass is made like on eighths. Every eighth something happens. You're gonna mix, you throw in the 8, and that's just how we play drum and bass, and that's how production works. It's pretty simple, just pretty cool, crazy noises, blah blah blah, and it's pretty straightforward.
And tight sounds and cranking.
But it's gonna lack the soul. At the end of the day, no matter what AI can do, it's gonna lack the soul. It's like look at art. Art is coming out super great. It's actually baffling. It's like, fuck,
Dude,
man,
I
like-
made a bunch of AI
But
art.
then again, yeah, well, it's supposed to be.
I made a
But
bunch.
you take the soul out, from the artistry. So yeah, it's
I'm
perfect. But it's
super
yeah,
fucking lonely making it. It just shows out there. It's beautiful.
Oh
Oh
shit!
my god, it's so beautiful. And then I'm just still by myself, and I've never made any connections with anybody. No one's prospering. I'm just there with art now. And then if anyone ever asked me, I'd never lie. I'd be like, yeah, AI made that. So then,
Man, we could have a really full-on conversation about it because there's just so much in all areas.
how are
of our
you doing?
lives.
You feel like going to the bathroom? You feel
I'd already pee myself here. Cool. No, I'm great, actually. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I like my little corner, man.
Dude, I think this works.
The advantages of being tiny, you know?
Sure.
I'm the shorty dude. You
What
know?
can I do better? I could move back, but
No,
I think
no,
I like
no, no,
this
I really
fucking
feel comfy.
technique here.
I like what we're doing.
And
Comfy.
how do you like having the headphones on?
It's way better. I know that. I know for a fact that it's just way better.
It sounds cool.
It's not a podcast if we're not doing it this way, too. So,
It's not a podcast. We're not doing
fuck
it
you,
this
Joe
way.
Rogan.
Dude, I love Joe
We're doing
Rogan.
what we got. What we got.
Do you?
Bruh.
Listen to me, bruh.
Oh,
Dude,
don't
so
love that
we went down a
motherfucker.
big rabbit hole because we talked about you getting into the States, and then we talked about you learning your
Yeah,
DJ
we went full
techniques.
personal first, and then we got into the DJing, which is good. It's okay.
Dude, I didn't even know you knew what you knew about DJing. There's so much to dissect, to
I
dig
definitely
into.
know a bunch. I had to do a lot of work, and I really got immersed into, I mean, it's the whole thing from the gadgets, the brands at the time, being a vinyl collector, then moving on to Serato. Serato was fucking.
It's the shit.
It was a game changer. I remember I had this girlfriend from Portugal.
And she
Beautiful.
stayed with you because you had enough time for her because
check
you didn't
this
go
shit
buy
out.
records.
It was my birthday, and you cannot get me off. Like, everybody was getting the Serato thing, but I was like, it's cool, but I'm just hating on it because it's expensive, and it's probably almost like $1,000 to buy the program, $800. I think that's what we got it for. Just I was like, I don't have that kind of money. And I like my vinyl, and everybody's gonna. I just didn't understand the monster that was gonna become. To
Can you
join
explain to
Serato.
people what Serato is?
Serato it's a software that pretty much what it does is translate within an interface all the sound that will be coming out from your vinyl. Into from your computer into vinyl and translating back and forth. So that's what the interface is for.
How do you make it as simple as possible? Sound comes
Pretty
from a
much,
vinyl.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna fucking download your music on your computer, and you're gonna be able to play the MP3s that you have with records.
Yeah,
And
one
the
record.
and you have the record is pretty much a data record. It doesn't hold any information, no songs. It just has grooves, and the last groove at the very end, it will never stop. Like when the record ends and it just
Sure.
that will never happen.
Yeah.
When it gets to the end of the record, the last loop is perfectly made, so it just stays on.
Yeah.
Like it will never stop.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's
you
just a
you go look at
controller,
it, you're like,
okay?
oops, shit, I
So-
left my
so
Serato
those
on.
records are a controller. You're gonna play, your MP3s through that, and that's the magic of it. You're playing with vinyl without carrying all your vinyls. You're just carrying a bunch of MP3s on your computer, playing on the vinyl form, without carrying your fucking bags of records. That's what the intention of Serato was from these motherfuckers from New Zealand. They think they're amazing.
I went and lived there because they're so amazing.
New Zealand seems so cool.
I lived there for a year. I'll tell you about that. But what happened to your Chilean girlfriend? Chilean?
Oh, no. From Portugal. She was
Portugal? What happened to her? With the gift?
She on my birthday. She did this on my birthday. I was like, wake up on my birthday, and it's like, love you. I have to go. She's a teacher, and I wake up and I feel this box, and I'm like,
What?
fuck?
In your bed?
Yeah, and I'm like kicking it, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh fuck. Is this Serato box there? I was like so happy.
What?
Because she knew I was never gonna buy it. Not because I hated and I was a purist. I was hating on it because I didn't have the money to buy it. That was the truth. She knows I wanted to get down with technology. So I get this box and I'm like, fuck. So, Serato, get up,
Bro,
walk
that's
out,
so
walk
cool.
out the door.
Someone actually
Walk out the
put a
door.
box in your bed.
Walk out the door and there's fucking 2 JBL Eons on stands as a part of my gift too. So I'm just like literally just shot it. It's like,
What?
yeah. She bought the speakers with the stands
What?
and set them up. So when I woke out with my Serato. And I was
Bro.
like, there goes an era. There goes an era. Like, I know.
It almost brings me to tears. That's
Oh,
so
fucking
fucked. What do you do? How much sexual favors do you do?
I should have married.
Does
her,
anything
but I was
add up? I don't know if you
bad
should have.
boy. No,
I don't understand marriage. You already had the stuff. If you married her, she'd own one of the speakers and half of the Serato bucks.
Yeah, yeah, man. No, yeah. And then from there, there was no turning back and really mastering Serato, which I've been using for over 10 years. It's really from knowing, like really growing with Serato from scratch live and moving on to, Serato Pro, which is now for controllers and shit. But I mean, I use it most of the time for turntables, which is, it's still legit. Like if you get an SL1 or an SL3, one of the boxes, the interfaces, I have both. So if you ever want one,
Okay.
And these things, it's amazing because if you have the records, the Serato records, they will work still as a controller with these devices that they're out of print. And I'm gonna, but if you go in legacy, you can still use them, and you can, I love that. I love
Okay.
that. I love that.
So they're a legacy.
They still
Not a
alive.
legacy, but they still work because you get a goddamn.
Well,
You're a
if you don't get no
hipster
more
with a
updates,
beard.
you don't get no more updates.
You're a hipster with a beard in Boston, and you got yourself a brand new record player from Technics because they make them again. You can actually just get a Serato. Would you though? No, that would take away the magic of the record player and being a hipster.
Who wants to be a hipster?
Because you would play MP3s.
It's fine. Dude, what you're trying to do is just.
If you're a starting DJ that wants to use records, but why does anyone want to use records anymore?
Because of the inconvenience, because it's cool. That's the reason why. That's part of an art thingy that I have there somewhere. It actually says that. It's like, oh, so why do you like records? Like, because of the inconvenience. Because there's really nothing cool about it. Nah, I'm just kidding. I love records. I will always love records, and my favorite size is 7-inch. I think 12 inch is too much. I think we can hold as much information in a 7-inch, and it's more portable.
How big are the small ones?
It's like this is 12.
Yeah.
This is 7-inch. This is small pizza. It's
And
a kid's
then
pizza.
Is
No,
there
that's
a
a 45
5-inch too?
That's a 45.
Okay, yeah, those are too small. So you're saying
That's
a
a
middle
40.
ground.
That's a small pizza for adult. It's a 7-inch, brother.
Nice.
12-inch.
Dude, that's a big statement.
And it warps. And it warps easy. The idea there is that size. How often do you see a 45 warp?
Okay, wait, you're telling me a 7-inch is a 45?
Yeah, 7-inch.
Is a 45?
No, 45 is a 45.
Okay.
45 is the one that you put the gadget in.
Yeah.
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 The 7-inch is still
And
perfect size, and he actually gets a hole. He doesn't need to have a gadget, an adapter.
Fuck.
And that's what makes it so. This is the way I feel about beta and VHS. For all you those out there that don't know what the fuck, VHS stuck around for so long. It's such a bigger tape. What about beta? Beta existed. Betamax was the shit. Beta was smaller. How come the VHS won? I never understood that battle.
What do you're saying Star Wars came out on beta? Beta? Beta?
Nah, I don't know. That
Is
was really hard.
BETA?
I'm old, but I don't know.
BETA?
No.
Beta?
Some stuff.
Beta?
Betamax was the shit.
BET.
But it just ended and we moved on to VHS, which is a bigger format. Don't that go against the...
Hey,
technology. Think about this.
Did you?
What about mini disc? Mini disc is, dude. I fucking.
what are they?
Mini disc is pretty much.
Can you pronounce that? This English might be hard.
Mini disc.
Mini disc.
Mini disc was
Mini
made by
disc.
Sony, and they make the Walkman, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like smaller Walkman. Think of this. It's like a CD inside a cassette, if it makes any sense.
CD.
It can never get scratched. It's inside a cassette. That's just how it works. That's the beauty of it.
Wait.
And you could store shit, and it was so much fun grinding into those, your collections and make your mixes and these little.
Oh, now
diskettes.
I've had too much tequila because I don't even know what that is.
Actually,
the mini. Is it a floppy disk? No.
Okay, now you're insulting.
No, I'm a curious man.
Those verbatim fucking floppy disks and shit.
No, floppy disk is.
you don't
Oh,
tell
shit,
me
I
what
know
a
what you're
floppy disk
saying.
is, motherfucker.
Oh, hold on. That's funny.
You gotta teach the kids.
I was saying floppy disk because of like
was
soft
floppy.
dick. Yeah.
No, but floppy disks, yeah. Hey, they can hold some information
Say-
too. But really, think about this.
Okay.
Like Sony.
Interlude.
Hello.
That is actually the aliens coming in. If you've ever, I have
They're picking up
my sound card is attached to copper wire, and it actually runs outside. And copper is an attractant to aliens, and aliens, when they want to talk,
They're just
they
manifesting.
they come through. That's what they sound like. So deal with it. It's not. It's my computer lagging, running Ableton, some stuff. Even my brother doesn't understand for some reason. There's only just
Fucking A, that's my
things being
fucking
recorded.
Face.
It's ridiculous. Okay, I just want a little, one more minute of clarity on mini disc.
Okay, when you ask me, son.
Okay, the mini disc is inside of a tape.
It's just like a really slim thing where, it looks like a little mini CD inside of. And it really that's how it works. You should really check it out. I'm surprised you never.
And you
never
said they
even
go in
seen it.
Walkmans.
They're the same motherfuckers. It's Sony.
And Backstreet Boys was on a mini disc.
Well, they didn't. You didn't buy them as
Give me
first time
my
as
disc.
records. It's just pretty much just a device. Well, I wonder if they did. Now you're making me think. But really, like, the idea was just to record. Like it was just tape. It was just like cassettes. Like when you used to make a tape back in the day. It's just way more fun. A little bit more.
Okay, here's something. You know
Tell
about
about explaining shit.
Dolby surround sound? Dolby digital surround sound? They premiered their stuff with Star Wars in, I think it was 1993.
What, the THX shit?
Surround sound is all Dolby. Dolby made surround sound, and they made it. Surround sound is Dolby. Everything that is surround sound is technology
2.1.
that is made by Dolby.
Dolby is like, but what does that mean? It's like two.
Dolby-
It refers only as 2.1 things, or is right? It's just
Talking to that mic, Ron.
it's just it's about 2.1 stuff, or is
I think there's behind sound, and so they invented the first creating a sound deck. I would say you have left and right, and then you have center, and then you have sub, and then you have
That's what it meant.
back left, back right, and then they're like, we're introducing you can bring back left, back right into your sound system, and that technology is called Dolby Surround. So anyone who does surround sound now is actually using the technology of Dolby, and they trademarked it. It's kind of like Kleenex. Kleenex
right,
is just a tissue paper, but other brands have
It's
existed.
crazy
But
still how we went from 2 point, and then to 5, having more speakers, so more. The idea was always surround.
so if you're a sound tech, you'd be like, you'd have to be aware that, okay, so you say you have an animal moving from right to the left in the first-person view. So right in front of you, if you have a gazelle moving from the right of the screen to the left, and you're a sound technician, you would only manipulate the right front going across the front left, maybe a touch on the behinds, but nothing. And when you're fucking, I don't know, surround, I think video games are in surround sound. So then you design it so when you're first player, you're here stationary and someone's behind you, you have your Dolby surround sound made so that it's producing sound for someone walking behind you. And then it triggers that, and then it's just all made up, dude.
Do you know what's one of the craziest, things you can experience? Also as a DJ, that makes you think of how really things are rigged and how does it work when it comes to sound. If it ever happens to you when you're DJing, working at some event, and there's this latency from the speaker where you're like, it's like, dude, I'm beat matching right. What's going on?
Yeah.
And you can't do it. Imagine fucking shows like Woodstock and shit, where speakers have to be like all the motherfucking way out there, and they're receiving the sound they're making from stage all the fucking way out there. All this cabling and how you arrange all that is the pure art form, really, of sound technicians. It's so crazy, man. Like how you have to adjust this latency for sound to get that far for people to experience in real time in places like, you could think back in the day like Woodstock and shit like that.
I feel like when... I'm just making sure she's still recording because the screen went dark, and I think I might have just stopped the recording for a second. Back here.
You know what you do.
Put her on again. Bunch of fucking shit. Start it up again.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about when you're... I don't know why you think it's crazier back in the day that it's crazy, because it's still crazy now. When someone has to set up a sound system and then this crowd is so big that 100 meters? Nah. Yeah, sometimes. 100 meters away, they have another set of speakers because they need it to be that. They can't send enough sound.
Towers of sound and shit.
I think that's as simple as the speed of sound and the distance between.
But definitely, I mean, the whole thing about learning about the correct cables for machines, everything to, adjust that delay. I mean, I know it's just normal shit for any engineer and anybody that knows about this shit, but still, for the average, nobody wraps their mind around that fast. It's like, damn, like it's a lot of production that goes into it. And the latency is real. Like, you gotta think of the fact that it's
the sound latency.
It's so fucking real,
buddy. I'm already thinking about that even in a club. Made me.
I'm gonna make another testimony while we're here. It's the only fucking time that I use fucking what's it called? That shit. I'm like to help you beat match.
Testimony.
It's like it's the first time that I use that kind of sync.
Yeah.
Because it was motherfucking impossible.
What are you talking about?
If you don't use the sync for
Woodstock.
if you just I did, I told it now. No, it's really like it was so rough, and I was like, so we can't fix this. I was like, you can fix the sound. It's like it's just coming off beat. Like I'm off beat. I'm beat matching, but so that I had to do it by eye, really. But it's crazy because you're
what was offbeat? Why was it offbeat? And
just this latency because of the system that we were running through at this party up in San Miguel de Allende, and that was such a. I mean, I'm sure it happened in very different scenarios. I had another scenario where there was like really nice sound system, and same thing. They had to fix that latency issue. It's just.
Okay.
And it really throws you off because you can't work, you're off beat. No matter what you do on beat, if you throw on beat that song, you're hearing some shit else. So that's when sync came through. It's the only time I've seen that is super useful. Seriously.
Well, yeah, when you can't
Well,
beat match.
The thing is that you're beat matching, and you're fine. The thing is the latency.
Get the AI to do it.
You can go fuck yourself.
Get the AI to do it, Morty.
No, I'm serious.
Guys,
It
just
was
so you know,
terrible.
sync means I don't know what I'm doing. Just make the button do
Oh, I
it
kill
for
this
me.
motherfucker
Why
right
do
now.
we even do what we do?
Fuck this podcast. No. Let me come clean again. So when you get that latency,
Your Honor, did you write that down?
I was-
Because I don't want that to be said.
I said it was a testimony because it's like it's something that happened that is just not what I wish
Not
to any
true.
DJ. It was just so hard to freaking DJ and let loose and just do your art. It's like fuck, man. Like I'm throwing on beat, but just the way the system is, and they can't fix it. You get one incompetent motherfucker that can't fix it. It's like, well, it's gonna be like this. Fine. So okay. So just it's just technology on your side. The one thing we hate most DJs, sync button. Well, that's one reason that it's actually good for. You're throwing on beat, but it just actually keeps everything online, and you can actually do the job you're tending to do.
Yeah, I don't want to. All right, so I don't want to alienate you. What we do is we try to be on beat. So when I say 1, 2, 3, 4,
The
1,
latency
2,
thing. Remember,
3,
it's just the
4,
latency thing. It's just
you
the fact that you're doing things professionally.
can expect.
It's just a sound thing that you can't. The guy's like, "Oh, dude, I'm not gonna be able to fix it because we're running through this, blah blah blah." It's like, "Oh, damn it, it's gonna be one of those days." Right when you thought I'm just gonna let loose and have fun, then you get that. So that's what.
No, here's a story of exactly that same situation.
Boring story.
For the first time in Slovakia, I was mixing, and it was a Bluetooth speaker. And Bluetooth definitely has a lag. It's got a latency of like maybe 100 milliseconds. 100 milliseconds is 0.1 of a second, 0.
It's a ton
One.
when you're fucking mixing. It's
Because
just
we
any
need to be-
latency. Any latency is too much when you're mixing because you need to be
on beat.
accurate, and yeah,
We've been
accurate
trying
and just
to be on beat as creatures for our whole DJ careers. We've been trying to manipulate tiny sounds to be on beat for our whole careers. And then suddenly when the beat is off, okay, it's not, I don't even know how to make people understand it, but it's like everything you do is actually off now. So everything you used to do right now, like when you'd catch the ball, no, you have to catch the ball 110 milliseconds later or it's going to fuck up.
It's just as simple as when you're trying to talk to your mom on WhatsApp and you're like, "Hi, Mom."
And then,
they take-
did you hear? And then she's already
And
talking.
it's like, "Oh, I talked to your sister." Oh, yeah, hi.
And I'm already.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
it's like. She just got the hi. Now this lady's talking about that.
That's actually more
how
simple.
frustrating that can be. Hey, technology, man. And we're 2023 and we still have lags. Every fucking security camera that we fucking have still pixeled when the smuggler's stealing something. We can never get HD shit of his face. We
Because
can get
not.
HD face of the alien or the spaceship. Nothing. We still an alien, fucking
I don't think I
technology
believe
is
in
really
aliens.
funny right now.
I've never seen an alien. Have you seen an
But
alien?
I'm saying is technology is really funny. Like it's 2023, and we still can get it one clear shot of the smuggler, of the alien, or the spacecraft. It's like,
Well, not everybody's caught up. Dude, the majority of the world don't have security cameras. The majority of the world doesn't have electricity, and the majority of the world
if
doesn't.
we sell 1080p, we sell all the pixels fucking possible. When it comes down to shit, when something happens, it's all blurry. Hey, find this guy. He stole this.
Yeah, that's really
Hey,
funny.
Hey, look. Hey, check out this spacecraft. He's
Dude,
like,
has anyone found
he's like,
anybody from one of those signs that says they're
this
mixing?
ghost. Look at this ghost. It's like, okay.
I do
Fucking technology.
appreciate people who put signs up for when people are missing, but I never think to look at the missing sign and think. I never seem to look at a sign of someone who's missing, which is genuinely a fucking huge issue. They're either dead or they're like hostage. I never look at that sign and then look at everybody and be like, is that him?
It's like
even if it is a clear image.
It'd be very rare if well, look, when I say is that I'm of no use if you guys put it in the back of milk thingy. I just don't recall faces.
Hey,
sometimes.
How did you get across the border?
Well, there was this submarine. No, I'm just kidding. No, nothing fucking fancy. Just a good old school fucking get to the border, start walking, and really just see shit go down, and then just walk so far that you get picked up.
When you see shit go down, is it too crazy to talk about? What is it?
What's that?
What kind of shit goes down?
I'll tell you this story about how something that happened to me. I mean, it's a true story because there's I think I really had it easy, and I think there's like something I have a lot of respect for the people that done it. If I learned anything, it was a kid that came from a good family, and we really didn't had any need to do that. I don't know how they supported it, but I guess something that I really wanted, but it's super dangerous. And I think that people have way crazier situations and seen way worse things than I did. To me, the few things that broke my heart, one of the few ones, it was just this couple that were, part of the, of the entire group, and somebody rolled their ankle or some shit, and we have to leave them in a tunnel. And they're like young, and they're doing well. They just rolled his fucking ankle. He's fucking done.
Hold on, man.
And the only thing
what tunnel?
It was just a tunnel. Just a tunnel that we're running through as we're walking through the stuff. So we just left them there.
Tunnels underneath
the
ground?
Not like a tunnel. It's more like, let's say, like when you have a highway, but it will look like a tunnel. It's circular.
Okay.
But it's not like a full. The thing is, you have to go underneath that, and it looks like it will be a tunnel, but it's really a tunnel will be.
And
like
it's an
real
obvious
tunnel.
place where people would go under. So, and you wouldn't want to hang out under there because people may check things.
Right,
there.
they used to keep hiding at all times. So, like people, like we were holding it down there for a minute. It's like, okay, time to move on. Let's keep moving on. And this kid rolled his ankle, and he had to stay with his girlfriend under that. And that broke my heart. That was first. I was like, okay, I can handle that. Just keep going, right? Just keep doing your thing. And then that's when it really hurt. It was this lady that it was just as heavy as my mom was. And then it's chubby at least, but and she was really like having a hard time, like getting over it and falling over it. And it just felt like it was my mom. Like I had to go back and fucking help her, and it's just civil duty, man. It just, to me, it looked like my mom. Like the lady's my mom at the age that she is now, which is 60 something. Crossing the border, I cannot that's how I was raised. I'm not even thinking like you look out for your life, and you don't have no attachments to none of these people. Well, I couldn't do it. Then here comes the third shot. That's when it gets really hard for me. We had somebody turn green because they had leukemia, and maybe out of stress, out of the whole thing, and then someone just go like the colors in the face were like really like going green. It's like we're losing somebody. Then you start really getting the casualties, and we started leaving people behind. Then I'm really starting to feel scared.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to like we have to keep going, we're not gonna jeopardize, like a group of 150 some people, which I remember it was at the time. and to lose the package, because that's what you are. You're a package. You're a drug package. Pretty
That's
much.
so many people. I thought it was going to be like.
That's when I'm
20
telling you
maximum.
this story when they were like, dude, this motherfucker knows English. What they're saying? I'm like, they're saying this and this. It's like, I saved a bunch of people without me knowing it, because I was just a fucking kid, man. I was just like, how can I help? Like, I really know English. Like, what are they saying?
That's them on a radio, and they're saying stuff, and you're like scared because you don't know
it's
what
like,
they're saying.
He said
but you
this
knew
and
what
this.
they were
I don't know
saying.
what it means, but it's like he said this and this line and this number and hey, whatever. Yeah, it's a crazy flashback. I hardly ever talk about this, so it's kind of like can be a little bit of bogus, but I will never forget this part. I'm telling you, that part is clear as day. Like I'll never forget.
It makes me look at you and think that I don't think I've actually seen a dead person that close, where I can see blue or green in their face. Dude, I haven't at all. It's
that shit's going south.
Life.
Like in I think this is the thing.
So far.
And I know that now as an adult. If I see a dead person is one thing, but seeing them, dying is a different thing. I don't know if it makes any sense to anybody. It's two things you don't want to ever encounter, but they're very different, at least to me. When it's dead, it's dead. It's almost like there's not an attachment. It's like, oh shit, I just ran in, or there's a dead person like the other day. Here at the bar, somebody had an accident. It's like, oh my God, it just felt, but it's done. Now, seeing someone dying, that can change your life a little bit, right?
I bet.
That's the thing. It's like, oh God, we have to keep. Those are the only things that I consider hard to deal with. But hey, it's been so long and it was such a crazy situation. This is something that happened. I said from a different kind of eye too now, but hey, did I have to process a lot? Of course. But
it's so weird that
I love that in DJing and getting real. This is good stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's so weird that you guys had to do that. Like, why doesn't everybody? There's so many different lives out there, and there's so many different countries, and there's so many. But it's weird that people want to go there, and people aren't letting people go there, and it makes people do that.
Well, poverty is.
I wonder if that guy would have died
really
anyway.
Is what drives it. This is what was the shocking part for me, that I did it out of like having a fit that they fuck with my shit, and also my sister's getting married. But as much as I don't have the need to come to the States that way. I'm just doing it because I have the balls to do it. We have the means to do it, and I won't stop fucking with them about it because I don't want to miss my. And they also fucked my visa up. So what's gonna stop us? That's really what happened. And then I go do it, and I'm like, I saw some shit. It's like I'm come from a nice family and everything, and I didn't have to do this, but fuck, I learned something that I think we're ungrateful for what we have. I think we come from you guys, there's this kind of need is super. I learned a valuable lesson. That's what I was telling you. It's like it was kind of. It's something that had to happen in my life. I don't know how it happened, but it happened and it changed me and it showed me a bunch of, and I actually stand for that cause, strongly, because I learned what the need is of not only that, but later on to having to face, deportation and being, that's another chat.
Yeah, no, we're going there right after this. I just don't know. We're right now.
And seeing what happens with this whole immigration thing. And, once the story's over, once the trip's over, years and years later, it's like, okay, it's time to go home. And something happens, it's also that's another heartbreaking story, right? Because at that point you made that choice. You're going to have your ties, and my life as an adult happened in the States. I got there when I was 17, I come back when I'm 30 years old. So pretty much it's 15 years in Mexico and then 15 years in the States. how do you identify yourself? Are you American? Are you Mexican? I said, well, I'm bicultural. No,
And you say to people you grew up in.
it's like I
Denver.
follow politics to this day from the States because I give a fuck about what's going on. Like I know what's going on. As much as politics in Mexico, that's a lost cause, man. I don't waste my time on that. But I mean the shit that's moving the world, which is it's like, yeah, I know what's going on. You just can't help to be immersed into.
It gives me hope hanging around someone who is really familiar. Gives me hope hanging around with someone who's similar and familiar that, you know, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah,
When
hell
I see a
fucking
dead
yeah.
body,
And we're so much
you just
more.
hang out like it just.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Or
like
is
what a
it,
time
do
for
I
you to
need
be
help?
doing. Look at Paul. You know, he got his citizenship too, and it's awesome. It's just different. I could have. There's just a myriad of things I
How
could,
did you
I could say
get
about
caught?
how I feel about you know, like what could be the life of anybody going to the States or anywhere else, and what is the life of an American person coming to Mexico. You know, from the get go, you don't even have a. You have a different name. You're an immigrant. You're an expat. You know, there's these monikers and there's these names to these things that kind of.
When you're in America, or when you're
Well, look at
when
it.
you're
Like
in your
people can
Mexico as
come
an
here and they
American?
can open businesses. They can do a lot of things. God forbid if we go there, we can't do that shit.
What the fuck?
It's fucking crazy.
You're
And
right.
and you get the fucking gringo here. I'm sorry, gringos. I love you, gringos.
No, well,
This is
here's
real.
what's up. Like,
Why nobody
I think
wants to talk about the fucking elephant in the room? You're not an immigrant. Your name is an expat. It happened before.
And it's kinda cool.
You're a settler.
being an expat is
like,
cool.
don't give me
But
that
why do people think it's
shit.
cool? Do we just make this up ourselves, or do people call us expats?
God fucking knows. He just brought us the fuck out. You're a fucking immigrant. let's just
When you're in-
and let's just treat each other that way, and I think it's pretty fucking equal. But it's like, you know, like I'm gonna be called I don't like my country and I have needs, man. I don't know. I'm just saying stupid shit.
Dude.
Yeah, there's some
You're saying some
funny.
big political shit there. You brought that up like
Yeah.
I don't even know where you
Fuck
came.
y'all.
That's what you're feeling.
Yeah, it's how we feel, and it's also the truth. I think that's just been. Like, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Who's cooler? The guy who allows people to come to their place and call themselves expats, or the guy who stops people from
So
coming
what? You
to
don't
the
love your
place?
country anymore. You're an expatriate.
No, what I
and now
mean-
you're Mexican. So now you're gonna come and open a business and then be a dick to fucking Mexicans that work for you. I'm not gonna say names, but I could really get down to some shit to that. No. We're not here for that. No. I'm just saying little things here and there about how things that I think that bother me. Since since I'm gonna be saying some stuff about my personal life and immigration and shit. I think there's things that they've been like not. The aliens don't like that. Aliens, see, aliens. We. Oh, hi, my doggy's in the house.
Good to see you.
Well,
Sorry,
that's the only
it's-
thing. It's just little beefs about little details that I feel
No.
like they are necessary for us
Fuck, I'm a
to
piece of shit.
coexist and see each other. Because the minute that's what makes it so different. So if I go to your country, I'm an immigrant. But if you come to my country, you're not an immigrant. It's super weird. It only happens with one race, with one type. And that just makes me question a lot of things.
Oh shit, are they one race though?
Seems
The
like they're
whites?
trying to fucking white boys. Nah, I'm just kidding. I love my white people.
There's so many different
Not
kinds of white
everybody's the
boys.
same. White boys are the shit, man.
They're just the ones with less
Everybody's the
skin
shit.
pigment.
Humankind is
But
the
then
shit. We just need to come.
Skin
We
pigment
get our
people
shit
mate with each
together.
other.
We just keep dividing ourselves and putting these monikers and it's like.
Do you feel the division? Do you keep up with some sort of global politics?
Dude, look at how shit is. It's all a matter of how you identify yourself, apparently, right? It's like I identify myself a fucking light pole. You better respect. Who knows? It just.
Where are you hearing this stuff? I hear from Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan?
Russell Brand.
Fuck you, Joe Rogan. No, I man, definitely. You're trying to see where I get my news from?
Yeah.
From Fox. Fox News is the shit.
From Fox
If
News.
you want to get the real shit, you go Fox News. No, I'm kidding. Fuck Fox News. No, it's hard to bite it, man. I think that's what podcasts are great. I think, that's what we can...
Wait,
Joe Rogan
you didn't
is
answer
great.
the question.
Oh, fuck. I can't just escape from you. Okay, ask me again.
What? Where do you hear things? Do you listen to podcasts too?
I listen to podcasts avidly. Like, I really, really... Like, I've been with Joe Rogan shit since day one. And also, from...
American.
There's just some... Do you also have your own criteria, of course. I like to listen to stuff and make my own opinion. I mean, that's the whole purpose of being a conspiracy theorist.
Now you're on a podcast.
Like, it's just... Make your own opinion, dude. You can't... You should be smart enough to know if there's fucking lizards fucking running the world or not, or like you have to have some intellect for that, no matter what conspiracy theory says. And look at what shit is, you get all the woke movement, all that stuff. It's like, okay, I stood up for some of that shit, but now I went bananas. Well, what a way to discredit someone, You get this movement. It's like, I even have some friends that they feel so, so happy about being woke. They actually took pride on that and said, now you're like, wow, you are the side of the fanatics. You're the guys that makes us somewhat slight conspiracy theories actually look bad, like full on idiots, It's one, knowing where to get your news from is one thing, but having criteria, I think that's, it's just like musical taste. You can't acquire that everywhere.
Okay, so you're saying... Getting news yourself. Taking news, but feeling yourself on what's going on and generating your own opinion.
Yeah, you should be able to tell you it's like, it's just some, propaganda or anti-propaganda.
The dog's getting into the wall.
I think he just found the nibblies.
Do you think he has to go to the bathroom?
Nah.
Nah?
No.
Okay.
He just wants to eat your wall.
Yeah, were you talking to me there, or were you just, you were looking to the side, peeling that sticker off and going hard on, shit, like, generate your own opinion, doesn't matter what you watch, and we all are important. And then we went down a rabbit hole. You just wanted to mention motherfuckers expats and potentially have some people are treating you who have authority but are from a different place.
No, it's just things we see.
Fucking China's coming in. No, hey, that kind of language, I don't even know. But can you imagine all your bosses become Chinese and then they tell you need to do things better and it's work harder because they work harder than you and they're going to come over and be your teachers because they're going to own us because we're offshoring all of our work because we just extract our natural resources, send them to China so then they can turn them into shitty fucking plastic for us to buy, for us to poison our own water systems and not even teach us how to build a house from scratch from our own material.
Hey man, it's a crazy world. I don't really know where things are going and things.
Speak into that microphone.
But definitely all I know is
loud and clear. To me or to the people?
We still have so much work to do and things to realize.
How did you get deported?
I got deported. I killed a cop.
You
by
killed?
accident.
Oh, what?
No, I was kidding.
Dude, you wouldn't be as joyous of a person.
I did punch him. You
punched a cop?
And I said, no more. This is just not normal.
Jorge, why did you do that?
Because fuck the police. Yeah, it was just not.
Why did the police get you? What?
Or he's trying to get us scared, and they do
violence
the,
ever the answer?
they do the,
Jorge, what would Joe
sit on the
Rogan
curb.
think?
What remember always WWJD. What would Jorge do? Don't forget. No, fuck that. No, I was young and it just snapped. I was, I really felt cornered and felt like, I think it was like abuse at that point, and trying to get us scared and being super rude to my fiancé at the time. So I did what anybody that loves somebody would do, which is just, this is enough. By the time I did it, even though I followed my heart, it's too late. But that's what happens when you follow your heart and you stick up for yourself. That's what it's all about, right? You gotta fuck some shit up. And you're gonna get the slash of and the consequences. But that's what you stand for, so you do it anyway. And that's what happened. Fuck. And yeah, that changed my life forever.
That wasn't that long ago. You're saying you were young.
Well,
it was 4 or 5 years ago?
So I was 28.
What?
28, 29 years
old.
old.
Oh, right. You've been here for 15 years?
I've been in the States for about 15 years. That was just
before
like
that, from 19 to 20.
That's a good testimony on my shit. I never said this on anywhere other than my third approach.
From 19 to 20.
No, it's
19.
good. This is good shit. I don't give a fuck about this. It's already happened. It's old history, but it's true. And
I'm just trying to learn from it.
That's how things went down. Hey, dude, just
it's so
it's
crazy what you're telling me. It's so life changing.
Hey, I recently got engaged.
I don't want to put you on a pedestal.
This guy shows
what's
up.
Good.
Trying to aggravate our we're fighting happily.
Fighting. They were
fighting happily. You guys like that? No, what I'm saying is like, it's like, fuck, dude. It's like, somebody calls the cops on you and you guys are like, it's like, what happened? It's like, cops are here. But why? We're like, well, you guys are arguing and shit. It's like, you can just tell us. Nobody's killing each other. Nothing's really going down. And too late, cops are there. And you know how the drill goes. You pull everybody to the side. We're like both scared. We're like, dude, we're arguing. Like, we're doing our thing. Nothing's going wrong. Like, we just got, like, really, we didn't see that coming. If it was an actual fight, it's like, well, we fucked it up or whatever, It was more like the neighbor or somebody else, butting in. No. It was your actual roommate. Be like, instead of saying, hey, can you guys keep it down? He's called the cops. It's like,
you're saying
one thing brought another situation.
Your roommate, you two were fighting. There
They're
some
yelling at each other.
Sort of issues because you were also hot-headed enough to hit the police officer, which was there for.
Well, that was me just being like, okay, like you are being racist and super rude to us, and you're actually scaring her and being disrespectful to her and treating me like I'm an absolute criminal. Like, you just happened to be at my house because the new roommate is fucking so high that he fucking called, comes because he hears fucking screaming and yelling instead of being like, hey, you guys keep it down or something. Like, treating each other like adults, and that's how he went about it. Hey, that's how much you can ruin someone's life. It's such a silly situation. Hey, but that happened.
I just got so in my own head.
We were bummed out, all of us. It's like, wow, that's out of the blue. But
I was fucking thinking, like, who am I to? I just don't know. I've only lived my own shoes, and I don't know your story. And I'm just like wondering if
check
even
this
what
shit
I say,
out. I had just recently got engaged. That was my engagement. There goes that.
This is the story of you getting deported. You got engaged, and then so now you're did she get arrested too? She's not from there, or what?
Who's that?
No,
she's American. She's American. You that's what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
No, yeah, she's American. Everything's super good for her.
It's been 15 years, but we're fine.
Yeah, it's been that's processed.
Is it?
I've been therapy. No, I wouldn't be talking about it. Definitely, it's a part that used to hurt a lot. It hurts the right amount, but not more than it should, like it used to. So I can live my life correctly, right? I'm a happy person. I'm happy. I have a great partner. Everything is great. It's more of What is that chapter? And that's my stance when it comes to immigration and things like that. Because I notice a lot of things, and it will take a full-on podcast to talk about very, very strong immigration things and things that I've seen and been in the system and been in the whirlpool of trying to get out of what you did and then you see all this stuff that happened with Trump and the families and displacement and detention centers and what's the money that really goes into detaining people and why there's profit into detaining people for an indefinite time and how much it takes to hold these prisoners. If we can really talk about something very compromising here, because I've been in absolutely all the aspects from crossing the border to being detained and knowing the system and knowing all the irregularities that affected a bunch of families, not only like myself, for one little thing, and changes your life forever. And then you become a DJ. Just cut the tension with a knife. It's not all sad.
No, I liked the tension.
I like the tension.
I am coming from Canada. I'm coming from Canada, and then I'm here. Although I'm not like the same kind of expat you're maybe like thinking of.
Canadians are a different breed. They have nothing to do with Americans in any way. They are my favorite people. I love my Americans, but hell, my man,
those fucking Yugoslavians.
It's so different. It's so different. No wonder why everybody gets mad.
Why
I'm no gringo.
That a rich American can come to another country and they're an expat, and then a Mexican who like rich. What the fuck is rich?
And you can get you get your citizenship quick. You don't need to be married necessarily. You can open businesses, and anything that we do over there, it will be like, it's like, hey, it's like I said, you're gonna get me started. It's the same shit when it comes down to if you talk about. It could be black people. I don't like black people here. Where they wouldn't be here if you didn't bring them. It could be.
Wait, is it a problem that?
It could be.
Is there a problem that? Do rich people have to just be rich to come into a rich club? Is that what it is? America's a rich club.
It feels like that.
And then
if
they
you
only
have
let you in if you're rich
solvency,
because it keeps people rich.
If you have economic solvency and you have money, you can prove that you have money, then there's nothing you want from my country. It's like, okay, so the guy has money, so he doesn't need any. Of course he doesn't. That's why he fucking comes here, because he's fucking well off. He just either doesn't like the cold or,
How did these cold
and
areas...
it's cool. Welcome, motherfuckers. Keep coming. Just, we're not like you.
Yeah.
It's like you can actually make a living. You can actually have a studio and have fun, like me and Colin, and do stuff, and nobody's going to be bothering you. You just got to go back every so often. But you can actually bring
I'm poor
businesses
too,
and shit.
which is...
Let's open a business, fucking Colin. That's what we need to do. Fuck
Yeah,
now that
dude.
we're talking, let's do a fucking
Honestly,
business. Let's really use all of our
make
resources,
funds to
since
make
all the
funds.
cool kids are doing it, and
Get
we're
the
not
best
doing
sound
it, man.
system that people are like,
No,
all
we're gonna
clubs
have
want us
Colin
to
doing
set
fish
up.
tacos el Colin.
Have you seen the money they make on those tacos? It's
Dude,
substantial.
do you think
pesos.
I'm kidding, dude? You fucking be feeling there one fucking taco at a time, motherfucker.
Fucking substantial pesos.
You gotta think big. Taco big, dude. You know what it's to have a güero cooking tacos, fucking like doing the batter and doing fish tacos, dude. It's a hit with drum and bass and fucking the DJ fish tacos, dude.
What the fuck?
Dude,
I might do that. I might go
Glitch hop
spearfish.
tacos, dude. Drum and bass tacos.
Spearfish
house
the fish.
tacos. Every day we have different
I will fucking
tacos, dude.
spearfish some sort of fish and make fish tacos. And we'll have a drum and bass fish taco. What do we call it? Why? And I'm the white guy, and I'm making those fish. And then, but then we switch.
We call it the Amen taco.
And then I play Mexican
The Amen
music.
taco.
Amen taco.
The Amen taco. It's like the gobernador, but with fucking 5 more times the cheese.
The omen?
The Amen.
Amen.
Amen break.
What if we called it adios Tacos.
Adios, puto. Adios, puto taco. It just send you off with style.
What does that mean? Adios puto taco?
I'm just being really rude. I shouldn't say those things. It's like como adios, motherfucker taco.
Oh, yes.
It's a taco with a lot of cheese, fucking marlin, fucking shrimp. And here's
Dude,
just 2 hits of acid.
I've never.
Just
No, I can't.
by the you'll be full and high and good to go. Can you imagine that shit, dude?
I'm talking out of my ass when I say I can spearfish fish. For starters, never done it, and I don't have enough money for a spear gun. So we need that before we do this. We need the spear gun
We
or
need
something.
the spear gun. I have a gun that we could use.
Not underwater, unless it's a spear gun
Well, no, it's
or a
actually,
firework.
it's
Might work?
it's an actual. It has, it has that, from the
You have a
for the
pea-
whippets.
What?
Sorry, did I say that? Yeah, the whippets. The
Yeah.
whippets, the little tanky
Canisters?
things. Oh yeah, it'll get you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure we can use that
The BB.
underwater. Yeah.
You have a BB gun. You told me at the fair.
How do you think I'm so good
You
at this
took me
shit?
to the fair.
That's why people hate me at the fair. It's like the exact same things they use. It's like dum 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 dum.
Yes.
Bad news bears when they show up.
God damn. Okay, so
And
the
I
other
have-
podcast we wanted to do was about politics of the reverse effects of expats coming from other countries to Mexico so easily.
There you go.
And
In a very kind way. Like let's
your
just really
experience
look
with
at
immigration.
things.
And then the deportation story.
That's just some stuff. Well, it could get super. But the one thing we could talk over the surface that would be nice to hear people what they have to say is about how equal that thing is. I think it's super biased in many ways, and it baffles people's minds, and it just doesn't seem.
What
very-
happened to your fiance?
When
When-
she got
Like,
she got another life and didn't work. She was supposed to go to Mexico and she decided to not come, and that's because family can be very absorbing, and we were pretty young, so they make you make choices that in the long run they're just gonna probably hurt. You just don't know. Everybody wants the best for you, and I think everybody's trying to help, and that's how everybody helped at the time. That's the way I see it now.
yeah.
I think everything was love driven, and I just think that's how things played out, and that's just a sad story, but that's that. Everybody moved on, and everybody did what they thought was best for them. So look at me, and then what I'm best for me. It's like shit. So like I got left to do.
Is that the only thing we got for ourselves is doing the best thing that we want always? I was trying to think about if
If it's you
I'm not
get somewhat of a calling.
empathetic enough.
You get somewhat of a calling too. You'll figure out what it is.
What is that shit? Self-centered. Because I've always heard that you should do what's good for you and keep doing that. And then at a certain point,
It's a mix
you
of doing
need to
what's best for
change
you and what's
over.
best for others. It's just a figure of speech. I think on and all is just the balance between those two things, right? I think you want to be able to be good to yourself and be good to it. Like we were talking about today. You were saying like we're trying to make ourselves useful. It's like you're always like, hey, you need help with something, or like we're always like, I make myself useful. It's like I want to be good to myself, but sometimes a way to be good to myself
I would show
by being
up
good
for
being
you
good to others
right now because I have a lot of time. And I don't see what I would do with my time. If someone asked me for help
synergic.
and I'm doing nothing,
It's synergic,
trying to figure
yeah.
out how I can be better for myself, someone's asking me for help, I'm not doing anything, and I can't even find a way to be better for myself. So why don't I just help someone
both
get
things
better?
both
and
things
then
work. If
everyone's
you're good
wealthy?
to yourself, you're good to others. If you're good to others, you're being good to yourself too. I think kind of somewhat it's equivalent. Like you just
But
have
if I get busy, I hope I'm
We'll-
busy
we'll-
helping others.
we all slack, and we all like to be better versions of ourselves every day, and I think that's an everyday struggle for everybody. Sometimes we're trying to just get our head over our asses and do certain things. Sometimes we're hard on ourselves. Sometimes
to check out my
on an old idea. Yeah, I know. That
check
thing
out the
is
podcast studio. So how are we doing? Are we too drunk to continue? / should we just open the other beer and come back?
I say let's open another beer and let's not stress it, and then we'll edit and we'll figure out what kind of shit I said that should be deleted.
Do we need a piss break? And then the dog?
I like big booties. Can you edit that? Please
This
don't
is
edit
all
that.
in it. This is staying in.
Okay.
Maybe. Or it's not. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not taking it back. I really like big booties.
It's bright.
Big booties is what I like. Do I sound weird? Some Mexican talking about immigration and stuff. I haven't even told you guys anything about hockey.
Let's go.
I play hockey, motherfucker. Do you know
We need another
too?
beer, and I'm going to take this.
Okay, good. Bye.
I'm not stopping this.
Okay, he's not stopping
Just keep
this.
it going.
All right, well, he's gone. I'm going to tell you guys
I'll go in and
the story about how Colin... Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to talk shit about Colin. Colin's really nice. So I'm left here with this microphone. So first of all, I'm going to light this joint. Fucking Colin is one of a kind. This guy shows up in my life and then he just tries to get me to do a podcast. I can ever grab a fucking mic. Ever. I've been a DJ for so long, and there's one thing you can't get me to do, which is touch a fucking mic. And this asshole shows up, and he's trying to get me to do a podcast. You know? What kind of motherfucker does when you know you have stage fright, you have to drink sometimes to DJ, most of the time to DJ. But here we are, confessing shit. Talking about how did you get to the States and did you cross the border and how hard it was. Well, there's the stuff. That's the gist. Damn, what a really good joint. This guy is just gonna leave me here in this little room by myself. No beer. No tequila. Okay. Can tell you guys stories about my puppy and how much I love my puppy Cuco. Cuco got to my house when I first moved here, and it's been the greatest thing. Cuco! There's my puppy. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing here talking to myself. I feel already weird, so I'm just gonna smoke weed until Colin gets back. Wish I could sing a song, but I don't like singing songs for randoms. So I'm just gonna wait. I hate you, Colin, for leaving me here by myself, fucking smoking weed on a podcast. I hope you edit all this shit because I don't want nobody to know that I'm getting stoned. Waiting for you. La 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 la. You guys know that I have a singing career? That's for another podcast. No, I'm kidding. I'm no singer. I'm barely even a DJ, actually. I just press buttons and shit. Never really touched vinyl. Don't even know what it looks like. God damn it. This motherfucker let me on record. Cruel motherfucker you be. Oh, sounds like here he comes. Hopefully with a beer. Oh, the guy is showing up. Hi, puppy. You're gonna have to edit so much. Because I said a bunch of stupid shit. Why would you leave me with a camera? And you know how much stupid shit I said? You'll hear it later.
Do you need anything?
No. My puppy, and he's here now. Bumpy.
Just checking we're still there.
We're still here. I said a bunch of nonsense, so you're going to have to edit all that, but I didn't know what to do, so
That's okay. Hello. Oh, back in the business.
yeah, you're going to have to edit such a bunch of shit. I said a bunch of nonsense, man. It's embarrassing.
You're gonna have to edit nothing.
No, you do.
Nothing.
You will have to edit some shit.
Why would I have to edit anything?
Said a bunch of stupid shit. That shouldn't be there. Just saying. I was like, I just got super weird. It's like, I'm alone
Dude.
here.
I'm
I'm in a little cabin. It's like we're like,
dude. Oh, give me that.
one day I'm gonna come
Any of that
visit
in
you in Canada, dude. Because I can actually go to Canada. That should be no problem.
If they let you in.
And Canada's good. Canada has nothing to do with los estados.
Yeah, not so much. A little bit though.
I didn't do anything bad over there yet. No, I'm kidding. Well, fine. I won't come visit you. That's it. Anyway, we're trying to sell tacos. Remember?
It's going down, coppers.
Oh yeah. Wait, watch
Cops
out.
show up to the taco shop. Hey, boss. Tables
Now
have
think
turned,
about
haven't
this.
they?
What if we bring the recipe over there to Canada? We bring in some fish motherfucking tacos. I mean, there's do you guys have fish there, right?
You guys got fish?
And so I don't see why we're not making
Pescado
some,
tacos?
Yeah, pescados, tacos el güero, tacos el colín, el colín.
All right, we're back from that piss. And I actually took your dog. I ran up the street with it. And I went to try to get it to go to the bathroom. He didn't even want to go. I ran and just stopped on the side next to a car.
And he just won't.
Peeing in the dust. I'm like, come on, pee with me. People walk by. They're like,
No, he won't do it.
like, oh, I see you.
He won't do it. He just does that in random places, and he's still little, so he tries to pee, and he doesn't know how to lift the leggy, so he just pees his paws, and he's like, great job, buddy. Coco's a work in progress, man.
Jorge's got a dog. Jorge, tell me about playing hockey. You played hockey.
Playing
when
hockey.
You got into America.
Well, I was watching the Mighty Ducks. Not this kid. No, but a lot of Mighty Ducks and stuff that had to do with that time. Yeah, I just picked up the sport out of the blue, man. Learned to skate in 8 hours, and then within a month, I was in my first national for hockey.
Within a month?
Right-handed.
What are you on about? You're telling me the Mexican hockey team? Oh, when you got back to Mexico?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. This is before I moved. Like, this is the time I lived in Mexico.
Oh, when you're 14.
All that, yeah. All since then, like, that little gap of time, that was just all hockey, like, blast.
You mean from 17 when you went across the border?
17. Well, the thing is that I was going back and forth. So although I was like from 14 until 17, and we were playing a bunch of hockey, and that was such a good time. I love hockey, man. I think it's definitely my favorite sport. I don't like soccer and all that. Do you like soccer and all that shit?
Yeah. The bottles there, they can see.
I forgot somebody's seen me.
Does me like soccer? No, I like hockey, and hockey is the most interesting to watch, but I don't fucking watch any of it, dude. I got cartoons. I watch sometimes the Rogan Experience, like on the camera, just like if I'm gonna watch, or finding tunes, making tunes, or mixing tunes. Man, takes up a lot of time.
That's the stuff you like watching the most.
I these days have been watching YouTube Russell Brand
in the morning.
mixed
You never
with
go to the like
listening
to
Joe
the dark
Rogan
side of
while drinking
YouTube.
coffee.
You're not like, how the fuck did I end here?
No,
No.
only with
What can we do? Watch it.
girls kissing each other.
That's a different channel, brother.
It's not even dark. It's very shitty. It's so G-rated.
Do you know what's this stuff where I end up all the time?
No, I don't.
It's I like the paranormal shit.
Okay.
Like I think it's something that should be super like better studied and looked. You know, there's cool stuff out there. You know, like I've done my own research too, and I think there's some freaky things out there. Whether you believe in ghosts or not,
What about
paranormal stuff is
How do
fun.
we get there from hockey?
Oh shit! I don't know. I go in tangents, so I don't.
We don't have much to say about hockey. We're actually
What's your
not that
favorite beer?
passionate about it.
you can never keep. You'll never keep up with me.
But
I go like it's just.
I'm not
You try to sit me
trying to
down.
keep
This is
up.
what you get
I
when
am
you
trying
try
to
to
keep
sit me
up.
down.
I'm trying to make it make
So tell
sense.
me, Colin, why your hair is so blonde?
Because what?
You know.
That's a great question. We can go into that after
Okay, let's-
after the hockey thing, if you remember.
Fuck
to bring it
the
up.
hockey thing. Yeah, man, it just happened super fast.
I
learned
found
to
super
skate in 8
interesting
hours,
because
and
you
then
said
I just
you were on the
started.
fucking
and then I
Olympic
picked
team or
up
something.
picked up the fucking, the whole hockey thing with really poor things, and we fucking got a team, and then the team just finally got good, and then we went to the. To like mini nationals. That is like people were really picking up on this sport, which is really rare that people think that we don't have hockey in Mexico.
What year?
This is like 1990, fucking 7, 6, 7.
Was it? Okay, you were
6,
15.
7s too.
You were 15. Oh, okay.
And it was funny because it was like this big boom of also roller skating at the time before, that it's funny now I'm getting serious. Sorry, it just takes me a minute to sit me down. It's crazy to think how important roller skating is and how it's being cut off from X Games and stuff like that. Like like nobody thinks of nobody pays it. Do you even know that roller hockey is a like super big thing? And
No.
it's pretty fucking dope, and that's the sport that I love, that I learned. Also, aside from like it was off season, we'll be inline skating, and the others, we'll be in the ice. We'll never be off the skates. That's how much we love that. And same motherfuckers that were skating and ramps and all that when it was cool before they took it off the X Games, because you don't. They're off. They don't exist anymore. And that's so shitty. At the same time that it started happening, the cross from skis to snowboard, and it's like, oh, fucking skiing is gay. You gotta do snowboard now. It was the same thing that happened with the skates too. So it was a crazy time to pick up this sport. It was a crazy time to pick up this sport. And it'll happen because we were skating and we're doing aggressive things and getting on handrails and shit like that. And we were so good at it that to play hockey for us, it just got super, it was just like the extra. It's like, okay, we're really good at skating. Now you just gave us a hockey stick and explained us how it is. Like, this is it? It was just so innocent, and then we were like fucking really good. It was all the same people that work at this skate shop.
Sorry, there's a few distractions with your dog and the wire falling and this thing spinning. Oh, fucking jerk.
It's good.
It's my tape job. It's not a good enough tape job.
He does really bad tape jobs. Never hire him for tape jobs. Colin
The
McCooker.
dog is scratching still. But
bad
you were
for
saying
tape jobs.
that you guys roller skate in the summer. Roller hockey is a bigger thing than I think.
Yeah, I mean, at that time it was like the big boom of inline skating. So you had like, I don't know, it's just like you get like skate videos with Tony Hawk. We will get skate videos with Arlo Eisenberg, fucking Chris Edwards, these monsters of inline skating and the tricks and shit. We were all about that shit. Then here comes, the hockey thing. And we didn't know that we were going to become like a hockey team. We're just aggressive skaters. It's funny. Really, this story is funny because it's kind of like, when I say the Mighty Ducks, it's half joke. It's like, that's how we started. We just a bunch of kids that were good at skating. We picked up the hockey sticks and then we got really good, and then we started, connecting with people in other places, and kind of finally they got an association for hockey, and it was, I don't know, it was a great thing around the time. Now it's a monster, but we started that shit because you didn't have that in Mexico City, at least not the inline skating community for hockey and all this shit. The hockey teams and the hockey clubs and all that shit, and hockey rinks, yeah, but it's like rich kid sport. Most of us were average, some of us were very privileged, some of us, it was a real filter, for that kind of sport.
True.
So at some point it was kind of like Cool Runnings, man. We brought ourselves to fucking Junior Olympics. We paid our way to fucking Junior Olympics. Yeah, our parents and all that shit. And there was fucking Mexico gave shit to support that,
Sure.
They wanted to make our instead of making us a nice, hockey fucking jersey, they wanted to make our actual, protection gear. Like you can make CCMs or Tacla or any of these brands that it's like, what the fuck? Like, why are they giving us this stuff is to play, like American football, not for hockey? What are they doing? Like, just don't give us that shit. We already have our shit. Just give us a decent jersey, right? Or some shit like that.
And
so,
no money.
So much politics, and it's always the money, and it's always been the money in any sport. But I mean, at that time, we made it happen. We did play some really important games, from Colombia, Brazil. You got really the South American, all the inland community, and also the ice season, which was super important because everybody really that's been around the Mexico City for so long. Actually, Mexico just won against Luxembourg yesterday for ice, and people always tell me, "You guys play?" So yes, we play. It's funny for everyone that follows hockey, that
It's funny.
that thinks that we don't have them. We have really good players.
When I say funny, I did not expect it when you said it.
So that, and yeah, just hockey became super important in our lives, and but it was more of a skating club, and that we all became the same gang that hang out at the skating club, and all the gang of skaters of aggressive became Mexico's team and selection.
Yeah.
It was made out of, so it's really crazy because we were the misfits, or we're just gonna be doing aggressive and drinking beers and fucking
I don't know. Yeah,
breaking out of
misfits.
places, fucking just grinding it and destroying it, and then be like, and that's all the shit we did, just skate. And this actually gave us, this actually gave us drive. It gave us a lot of drive to really, we became
So
a
you're
national
saying-
hockey team. It's like the fucking Mighty Ducks. It's like Cool Runnings. It is the truth.
Mexico, you were a part of a roller skate gang and you were pretty down with it, or you got into it maybe just after, but that helps people get recognized in the ice hockey, like Olympics or national teams. And then you guys aren't even great skaters because you're ice skaters, but it's almost the same and then you're in on playing National League hockey.
We were
and-
definitely like we're like I said, like on season where like you'll see us on ice skates, and it was off season you'll see us on roller skates, really like still playing hockey, and forming a community that didn't exist, because the ice hockey community is what it is. You go to the rink and it's there, and you get your teams and shit. Inline hockey was not around like that. It became like a whole brand new market, and leagues started, and you got series, and then people started trying. Then you got the Codeme, which is the ones that really have the money and make it really like put it out there on the map for you to have a nationals, and then to have an actual proper, international championship, and bring everybody with their inline skates, and that was the cool thing. You remember when we played with the States, and we're just fucking even, fucking exhausted. Finally, the States wins, and we're all like, all the kids were hugging each other, and there was like that trade of gear. I remember, thank you, Daddy. Rest in peace. I had all my gear. I had cool shit all fucking time. I was so spoiled. But hey, for the kids but we're part of the team, that was cool, because people were taking off their gloves, and it's like, here's my gloves. Trading them of like, and hugging each other. Like, man, fucking Mexicans, they could fucking put a little less. Then we started getting really good. Then we started getting really fancy. Then we were all about it. And those heydays, that's when shit got super cool.
You're talking
We
about
had Junior
the
Olympics.
starting days, and then
Junior Olympics.
Now the story has progressed into you were in Junior Olympics and were balling out because of other people, sponsors, or people trading you stuff.
Junior Olympics became...
Why were you balling out on stuff?
We did like... It was like a home... oh, sorry, I'm doing it again. Obviously, after years of playing and doing all... It's like,
Speak.
Sorry,
Get some coffee in it.
Yeah, I know. Let me have a sip of this shit.
Okay, skull it. Oh, no. Oh, no.
No. No, it was just like a few years of of playing the fucking game, and really loving the fucking game, and really fucking doing leagues and everything, that we started making these little teams of teams, and getting to the nitty gritty. And then I remember that it was my only chance to progress, but I had to leave Bantam and move with the big boys. But if you move on with the big boys, I can never go back to Bantam. Like, that's that. So I did it anyway, and fucking hey, man, growing up with the big boys in hockey, dude, that was... It's quite a bit down. Those were the first times I got drunk. They got me fucking wasted. When you're like initiation and shit like that.
True.
They were just rougher and rougher. I could score like a motherfucker, but if you catch me, since they're bigger, you see me get crushed. So it's like, take care of him, and I'll just...
It's kind of fun to hit smaller people.
And if you can catch me, that was the thing, because I can skate, like I was super fast.
Wow.
So people will just go super hard, and I'll do really funny things. I'll get so low that they'll come up from the top, and I was able to slide from because I'm going so low that if you go, you just pretty much just go under you. There was this other one I used to do, like if you try to hip check me, I will like lay on your back, and I was able to pull off
Roll over.
The rollover.
Sick.
Those were the cool things. Hey, I was young at some point. It's been some years from that.
That's sick.
And I still have a bad temper, I think. I really had a bad temper too.
Breathing?
No, I had a bad temper since then. So yeah, I will never hit anybody. Like that would take me a while
after the police officer when you were...
Oh yeah, that hockey temper that it's there. No, I'm just saying, like, I'd rather than hit you, I will probably score a goal on you. That was the whole point.
Nice.
But I mean, I'll hate when somebody get nasty, because that's how I get back at you, and then I call you a bitch. they score and be like, say some stupid shit. It just psych you out too. Oh, and even then.
So what kind of successes or you were on the Mexican
Mexico team?
Olympic team?
Yeah, I was the captain for Mexico team around 97.
DJ.
Yeah.
And
I puked every time before every game.
Oof. Where did you play?
Every day. I took my mom all around at Mexico Republic. Like, we just really went around everywhere for all nationals, from Tamaulipas, Veracruz. Like really went like all over. I think that's one of the best memories I have with my mom. It's like shit. We like that came from. It was hockey. Hockey travels. It's like the one thing that I felt proud of. I started playing baseball first before any other sport, and I got traumatized by it. I don't know how I ended up playing hockey. I had this friend and really good buddy of mine, and we just sucked at fucking baseball. And we sat there with our fucking ice thingies. The ices, like
Slurpees or
Slurpees, yeah. And he's like, oh, Arroyo. It's like, oh, I gotta go hold my shit. We're like we're just there because our parents sent us to baseball thingy, and we both hated it. Like everybody else was good and we weren't, we were just there to drink ices. Like, you also sit there for so long, such a boring sport. I'm sorry. Sometimes. And fucking my friend's turn. It's my friend's turn. He, he's starting to fucking, be on the bat, and he just gets this fucking fireball in his mouth. He loses his teeth. Ever since then, I'll just flinch. Never recover from that.
Flinch from baseball.
Yeah, and from there, ever since I saw my friend getting busted, I could not.
How did we get here from hockey?
So they have to take me off the baseball because I just really was not liking it. And then out of the blue,
you're a super athlete.
Out of the blue.
What are you on about? How
out
are you
of the
getting all
blue,
these
my
gigs?
friend of mine fucking shows me how to skate in at my house. One of my good friends that used to come, we're little, we're fucking kiddos, man. And he's like, you motherfucker, you're skating. And I was like, oh, fucking shit, just picked up that fast. And I was doing like aggressive stuff. And next thing you know, I was playing hockey. And next thing you know, I was fucking, on a competition to go. First of all, I went to my first national as a right-handed. I'm left-handed.
Right on. Why? Just you were left-handed.
I just
and you stayed left and stayed on right wing.
No. Like I played it. Like I went to my first national playing as a right-handed.
Why'd you do that?
Left. Like I didn't know I was left. Like that's how much I didn't know about this sport. There's a lot of flukes and things. Even DJing is like I didn't know I was gonna be either good. Like I love music, but it was like I didn't know I was gonna be actually have any dexterity and be
Sure.
Hey, there's many things to unlock. I didn't unlock that many in this life.
Okay,
but those were a few things that I was like good at. There's like, wow, you're really good at this shit. From aggressive skating to all that stuff. That was always stuff that called me the most, I'll say.
Superhero on the sport.
Do you like skating? Do you roller skate?
No.
Can you roller skate?
Yeah.
Did you skate?
I skate.
You're a Canadian motherfucker.
My dad likes hockey a lot, so he started being the coach from like kindergarten, grade 1. So I'm like 5 years old.
Oh, this is my shit.
And then we did that forever until high school. I was nervous to shower with boys naked, so I didn't. I dropped out.
Oh, yeah, the whole locker shit.
And then in grade 11 and 12, rejoined.
And finally,
yeah, in grade 8, 9, and 10 was out because I was actually nervous about showering with a bunch of boys naked. I just was scared. The boys are gonna.
We didn't have showers like that. It was just.
Gay?
You just go to practice, but we never really had like our shit wasn't so fancy.
Our showers were.
But when it came down to be on the rink, this is two different separate lives. Though the roller hockey life was very different from the ice hockey life. And you could tell right away because he was, it was more hood. It was people that had skates and, like played street hockey and stuff. That's one thing. People that played on ice, it was two separate stories. You got to meet a lot of people that had a lot of money and, had all this crazy equipment. You have Louisville, fucking Vaughn, like all like really, but they weren't necessarily good. They just had money and it was just a sport. It was just kind of a filter for what, you can see what the culture was in Mexico at the time too, which is what we call a bunch of whitexicans at the time, or people that have, could be Canadian or American descent, and they follow the sport and we're going to put them through the sport, right? 'Cause what we do, but it's just still get a Mexican kid going to a Mexican school. It's a privileged sport. Really, it's very different. And on the ice, you get to meet all those,
It's still
all these
privileged
families and their families that they're
Canada,
like, what
but-
school your kid goes to, and like, but it's like, oh, what? It's crazy. But there's a lot. It has a lot to do with all that kind of stuff.
Except skates. In like Canada and fucking Finland and Russia and shit, it's so much winter that there's ice for free. And there's just so many skates around. You can get a pair of skates, no problem.
Like easy.
You put them on. And then when you want your own, they're about $150, which in Canada you can make easy. Which is like a pair of nice shoes.
Yeah,
Or just good shoes.
I always been crazy for my bars.
I haven't been to Canada for a long time, actually. Shoes and
How long?
skates,
How
I
long
think,
you
are
haven't been in Canada?
No, I was just there 6 months ago, but I haven't lived there and bought skates fucking ever. So
Right. I brought my hockey skates here
why'd you do that?
because I'm gonna go to Puerto Vallarta and skate on the Malecón, which is like right by the sea. They have this, like
roller skate.
yes, that's what I meant. That's what I'm
Dude,
sorry,
when
I'm
you
sorry,
say
I'm sorry.
skate,
I know because we're
think ice
switching from
skates.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm saying,
But I
you
also
don't- it's not as privileged there.
I love
because you just
skating
go
in any
skate.
format.
You need to go skate because there's nothing to do.
Skating on any format, like I can get on a board, I can get on.
Dude, fucking zombie apocalypse.
Oh no!
How we
Isn't that
doing?
crazy? The fucking hockey stuff. Like some people like really warm believe it. I remember when I was in Colorado and I just went to the drop-ins because I got my father sent me all my fucking
Drop in hockey.
yeah, it sent me all my fucking roller hockey shit so I could show it with my iTech fucking bag, my stick bag, all my stuff. It's like what the. So I get in and it's like what the fuck, dude. It's fucking schooling them. It's like where you Mexico? It's like, you guys have hockey in Mexico, dude. It happens 99%. It's like, do we have
So you're saying more like because Canada dominates Olympics like a motherfucker at ice hockey.
I
then
love my
people
Canadians and then
are
Shoot,
good
you know
at
that. You know that.
hockey, but they're not close to the most ice countries, which is like Russia, Canada, USA. USA gets players from like the world. They're like from fucking everywhere.
I'm gonna show you this week a bunch of Mexican talent for.
But you're saying you were smoking some people because man, you played enough ice time to be better than the Mexican.
And I was already playing way. I left Bantam to move up with the big boys, so I fucking I got
Midget?
hit hard.
Midget, bantam, midget.
Bantam is like the youngins, and then you move up to like you hang out
Midget?
with adults. Like really like once you go from 18 and up. Bantam is
Higher.
no
I forget what we
Bantam
call
is less. Bantam is less. Bantam is the kids. 18
Yeah.
and from 18 up, then you're with the big boys, which is what I did. So I was like, fuck, I still had 2 years, almost 2 years, and now I can't go back. So I'm good and I'm busting ass, but it's easy to stop me in my tracks because I'm small. So it's like, damn right. It's like, you wanted to play here. It's like, fuck, you did knock the wind out of me. It's like, one time my mom did such a yard sale, like, got hit so hard. Could just see my helmet. And my mom got in the fucking thing. Everybody was pissed. It was nasty because you can tell I'm good. You can tell I have really good shots. I can skate really well, and it's unnecessary roughness, man. Right away, like it was just really stopped me on my tracks. But not only that, but I almost went unconscious. It was like knocked my foot. It just looked a big.
It's one of the only things us big guys got, man. We don't got speed.
And then you get the short guy with the right center. So every time I come back, I started doing my shit. I'll do fucked up shit. This is how fucked up I was too. I'll do so fucked up shit that I'll just fucking shoot the puck at your face because I was so accurate. So the same motherfucker that did that to me, all I did was just shoot at his face.
Damn.
So I did, and obviously I had a nasty side. Then I started learning how to take care of myself and
Aggressiveness.
And also be like, okay, this is gonna be like, it's for real now. They really want to get me, and let's elevate but I gotta focus a whole lot more. And these guys were assholes to me. I remember this one time, I'm the newbie, right? So they all got me all super drunk and shit. It's like, take another shot. It's just like, dude, I don't even drink. I wish I drink like I did now. They'll see what's up. No, but the boss gets to the room and he's like, Jorge, are you all right? I'm like, dude, I'm missing the game. It's like, what the fuck did they do to you? It's like, they just gave me so much. I was so young, man. So he's like, get your shit and let's go. And he fucking yelled the fuck out of them. I don't remember who had a time. I got there for a timeout, and he yelled the fuck out of them. It's like, dude, you guys give him, like, what the fuck, dude? We brought him to play, and like, you guys really. So I get in. He said, "You want to play?" It's like, "Can I please play?" It's like, "You all right?" It's like, "Okay." It's like,
wasted.
Yeah, like I'm ready.
Probably.
Get in,
over.
score the fucking goal. That. Right away. This first thing is like to score that just to make a point. That was the kind of kid I was at that time. It just was like that's why I was invited to play, right? It's like, watch this motherfucker. He comes with I'll do some crazy things. Man, those were my heydays of my life. I'm an old motherfucker now, but
sounds like you were
I did some really fun stuff.
a great skater and player of hockey, and
I love the
still
game.
are.
I wish we could freaking play. That's why I want to come
And then you got
visit
good
you.
with roller skates, and then you're probably better than me. Probably the best Mexican player, captain of the Mexican team versus an average Canadian. The Mexican player might be better than the average Canadian, and we're not.
We should really order some, some
roller
hockey
skates. Get fucking,
No, at least get some hockey sticks to
hip
just
check
like
me on the
just
pavement.
to send
I'm
each
in
other a
short
puck.
shorts.
That's always so much fun to just send the puck.
It's cool, eh? Using the extension, the stick, instead of
It's
the
such a
hands playing with the
And
ball.
just
Fuck
skating,
that.
skating. Man, I picked up skating after quite a few years again, and it's funny how your body remembers the moves right away.
Yeah.
It's like once you're just like, man, I haven't been on skates, and I was like, oh, it's like, okay, hold on, like, and I'm like, dude, that's a bitch move. I don't do that.
Come on, skates now. Don't
it's
just
like,
walk
what
straight.
the fuck? Come on,
Turn your
yeah.
fucking
How am I gonna be
legs out.
falling?
And push with the inside.
And then next thing you know, it's like
groin.
the body memory really remembers it. I'm like, hell yeah! Now it feels like it's shit.
People are so
Skating
good
is
at
such
hockey. Fucking
skating,
crazy.
surfing, just getting all those sports. They give you a feeling. Anything on wheels, gliding, skateboard.
Concentration.
So much fun. It's just for the mind. I think that's why we love all that stuff so much. I think it's just keeping balance.
sensitive people, or
so-
everybody's sensitive and they could use it, or we're hyperactive. Why are we both DJs? Why are we both like potentially entertaining people?
Hey.
Potentially decide for yourselves. Vote on the new poll. It's 5 stars for me or 5 stars for DJ Symmetry. Jorge. And we see, because it's a competition, who's... No, what the fuck am I talking about?
Mushrooms in the house.
I think, unless you have something important you gotta say, I don't think I can continue this.
Well,
I don't think I would want to put any of it on past these points.
this is where we should not.
Until we can hold a solid point
but
that
here
has
it
some
is.
value.
But here it is.
Some intelligence.
Like whatever we put together, that's of worth of content, which you take care of that.
We got this.
This one's funny though. Just
I
to
think it's
keep,
great.
because it's the first
I
time
really
you
like
got
it.
me on a fucking mic and just to shoot this shit with you. So it's a good exercise. It's huge for me.
It's a good time, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it can be better next time. But
Next
it's just
time,
it's
yes.
the best thing is that finally it's like, all right, motherfucker, just because it's Colincito
I think this is teaching us to talk.
and share,
I think
and
this
it's
is
good.
teaching us how to actually fucking talk, because the conversation breaks when it's about subject matter, because subject matter we only know.
Also,
so
there
much.
was a lot of personal shit, so it was kind of like old school, and then try to keep it, and then be like,
That's the biggest conversation, because
and it's when it gets like,
your nerve
okay,
attachments to
like
that
a lot of
situation.
laughter, then okay, we get serious. Then okay, then this and it's like funny, and it's like, no, but seriously. then you know they say,
No, but seriously, listen to me.
No,
Roller
and they-
skate players
yeah,
from Mexico
and
are
they're like-
fucking good at hockey, bitch.
yeah, and they're like,
Huh?
okay,
you don't
well,
think
yeah.
I know what I'm doing?
They're like, hey, you know what? Expats,
Get-
I think it's bullshit.
Get hip checked.
It was like, we're like, oh shit, and I think it's bullshit. It's like, oh
Okay,
shit,
wait,
Jorge's dropping bombs.
What do you
It's
think is
like,
bullshit?
oh fuck.
What do you think is bullshit?
No, what this dude that was saying earlier, it's like, oh shit, here goes Jorge. It's like, I think expats is bullshit. Immigrants, blah,
I
blah, blah.
think-
And start saying shit. It's like,
No,
oh no, here
that's
I go.
the good shit.
What am I doing?
I liked it.
Steering shit in a good way. It's just stuff.
Okay, we got a beer. We got like more spliff. We drank a whole mini bottle of tequila, so we're clearly
I drank that.
doing totally fine.
Oh yeah, we good.
Doing more like, and by that I mean nerve endings are less attached, and it makes me
I'm gonna
less
burn
worried.
this.
But it takes a lot of healing
Yes,
later. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys.
Adios, amigos.
Rest
Sorry.
videos.
Yeah.